Hey friends, welcome. It's another one of our Slant Alpha adventures. Welcome. We are live from Studio 5 just outside of Ocean City, Maryland. Getting ready to do a little bit of a slant golf adventure for you this evening in the JustFlight BAe-146, which we do now fly with that kind of primitive flight management system, the UNS-1. So we do have that RNAV capability. I know we're bucking the roots of the channel with all that. Really, there's only one out of our 5 planes that I fly regularly anymore that I do truly fly Slant Alpha. So getting further and further away from the channel's roots, but of course you know me so well as that name, so we'll just kind of keep it anyway. Anyway, welcome friends. We are here at Raleigh-Durham International Airport, and I went ahead and sprung for a payware scenery for it. It's by Feel There, and the last time we arrived here, realized that we had some huge scenery issues in terms of elevation changes. That taxiway that we got off onto, the Echo, that went across the bridge here and to the back end of Terminal 2, it was like a roller coaster. And I was like, well, you know what? Let me find some scenery, a scenery add-on package to fix that. Didn't find any freeware ones, and this was the one that was available. Fortunately, it was a pretty affordable price, and as far as the way the terminal looks and whatnot, it looks pretty good. It looks like it's pretty good quality. So I'm happy so far. Again, we'll take a quick zoom around to look and see if that taxiway was indeed fixed. No, wait, not waiting balance. What am I trying to do? Camera. Let's up the drone speed here. And let's zoom out. And yeah, so this was the taxiway we got off on. We landed on 5 left, but we were going to the Terminal 2, the main terminal here. Then yeah, this was the taxiway that we took. Well, that looks a lot nicer. Yeah, it kind of came in that way. Alright, so yeah, so this is looking much nicer in terms of the quality of the scenery. Control tower up there. Nice view of the terminal access road and parking garage. And then this is down here. This is the signature ramp. Oh, a nicely modeled signature building. Kind of similar architecture to the one that they have up in Baltimore. One of our friends waiting there for us to get underway. Alright, so we'll do that, shall we? We're going to fly as Piedmont 5514, and Piedmont does, I believe, do some work as an American Eagle carrier, American, regional jet, but not in this jet. But we're going to kind of bend reality a little bit and make this Piedmont 5514 in the American livery. We're at American Airlines gates today, and we're going to head down to Jacksonville, Florida. The Friday Night Ops event is called Florida Night Ops. So we'll go over to the VATUSA events page, vatusa.net, under Pilot Tools and Events Calendar, and we'll see that it's called Florida Night Ops. Friday Night Ops is the weekly VATUSA Friday evening event, but they've called it Florida Night Ops for tonight. They're featuring Miami, Orlando, Regional Southwest, which is Fort Myers, which is where my parents live, and Jacksonville. So our itinerary is going to take us from Raleigh-Durham down to Jacksonville, and then Jacksonville down past Regional Southwest. Regional Southwest will be our filed alternate for trip 2, but we're going to end up down in Key West. Got a good amount of VATSIM air traffic control coverage throughout the region. Of course, this is all of the event coverage, Jacksonville and Miami down here, but our friends, our colleagues at the Washington Air TCC are also staffed up. Got a good amount of staffing here at Atlanta and Memphis as well. So it looks like Memphis is not too terribly busy. So if you're a beginning VATSIM flyer, you might want to avoid the madness of the event, but it looks like some opportunities exist for you over here at Memphis or even in Albuquerque to get some flying in with some coverage, but not necessarily a ton of traffic. But here's our first route. We're going to depart Raleigh-Durham, come down the coast, and end up in Jacksonville. And as I mentioned, we've got a good amount of staffing all ready to go for us. We did, in fact, get a pre-departure clearance. I got that about 15 minutes before the top of the hour. So at the time, it said departure frequency blank, 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 blank. However, we can see now in the meantime that a friend of ours has logged on to 124.905. So we'll just go ahead and assume that that's going to be the departure frequency now. And we'll just update this. Yeah, some information. Kilo now, 3203. We're departing on the 5. So we'll expect probably 5 left, although if they want us to depart 5 right, we can do that as well. All right, we got some friends to say hi to in the chat. We got Aerobrad. We got a Psychic Taco. Yeah, the weather does indeed look great. Look at it on Sky Vector. All green dots, meaning all visual conditions. And if you look at the ones through here, a very 3-knot wind, high pressure 3023, calm wind 3024, clear skies, calm wind 3024. Or I'm sorry, 4-knot wind there. Fayetteville showing calm wind 3021. So yeah, light surface winds and high pressure kind of tells you that you're going to have a nice flying day. When we get to the point where we're briefing our passengers, we will be sure and let them know that. Who else stopped in? ELW stopped in. That's a 44-month resubscription there from ELW124. Good to see you here, my friend. All right, now let me clear my throat. We are running the mixture, a little rich of peak here, a little mixture enriched. So hopefully that will double as a cough suppressant, and we will get underway here momentarily. All right. Start over here on the tablet. Let's go to the aircraft. The wheel tracks are already set. Let's go ahead and get some doors open there. On the yoke, we can go ahead and get the battery switches. We'll come up top. We can actually see that going on. No smoking lights can come on. Cabin emergency lights can go to armed. Avionics masters on. All 5 of those. We can get brake fans to auto. And the anti-skid on. And this spoiler system is yellow and green on. Let's go down to the bottom half of this panel then. And continue our way working down. We get bus ties. Standby inverter and generator to the armed position. We get the APU gen switch on. The left inner fuel pump on, and we can go ahead and fire up that APU. Oh, I can get the center tank transfer to auto, although we haven't set our fuel load yet. We are waiting now for our APU to spool up. We can see up the very top center of the screen, 40% RPMs. We'll take a little sip of the beverage while we're waiting. The gas temps spike up and then they start to settle in as well, so that's all looking normal. Looks like we've got a good clean start of our APU, and we should hear electricity kick over. There we go. Did it? Got the gen switch on. I mean, I heard a click. 2319. We got Kitty Monster stopping in. How are we? All right, APU air and pack 1 can come on. We can get the galley switch on. And let's go ahead and get the flight deck emergency lights armed. We go down to the front panel now. We can make sure our master warning knob is pulled out. It is lit up red, so that is true. Go ahead and get our nav radios 1 and 2 turned on, and get our DME radio turned on. Is that all we're going to do there? Yep. We're going to hop down here. We're going to power up a bunch of stuff. COM 1, COM 2, ADF 1, ADF 2, and then the 2 entry units for the flight management system. Finally, we will jump down here. We can go ahead and get our yaw damper systems on. We can get our transponder on and into transponder mode. And I'll go ahead and just get ahead of the game here. We'll type in the squawk code that we got from our PDC 6207. So we're just kind of ahead of the game, and the brake temp monitors can come on. They're just monitoring. It's just reading the ambient outside temperature is 14, and that's all it's reading right now. So, all right. Starting fuel. I'm gonna put 8150 in each wing. I like how that's reading -1. Make that 0. And 8150 in each wing. Okay, enter. We'll do an instant refuel. And then passengers, I like to just do 80. And 2,400 pounds in the front. 2,400 pounds in the rear. He said pounds in the rear. And then let's do a 10-minute boarding. All right, rolling on. We got our flight plan filed. We got the ATIS information kilo, and we've got the pertinent details. What was it? 3023 and temperature 14, which of course we knew because our bright cap monitor was reading that. 3023 is what we're going to put into our altimeters here. Just a moment. 3023. So we've got that. Yeah, let's go over here. Let's go ahead and get that set now. We got 3 places to set it. We got the first officer side. I'm sorry, the captain's side here. We've got these 3. I might as well say them in the order that I do them. We've got the captain's side. We've got the standby, and then we've got the first officer side. Sometimes I don't really listen to the stuff that comes out of my mouth, you know, and then I hear it a minute later, and I'm like, wait a minute, that wasn't right at all. So 3023 is now set 3 times. Oops. Field elevation at Raleigh-Durham 435 feet, and that is very close to what we are seeing on the gauges. So go ahead and call that verified. COM radios will come down here to COM 1 and 2. We don't have to speak with delivery because we got our clearance already. We'll talk with our ground controller 219er. I'll tell you what. Let's just do this on COM 1. Because I don't, we only have a ground and an approach. We don't have a tower controller on. The 21.9 and then 24.95. So we don't need, normally I've set clearance delivery here, then ground, and then tower, and then departure here. And we kind of work our way right to left across the radios. But since I've only got 2 controllers on that I'll be talking to for this departure, we'll just go 21.9 here, 24.95 there, and we are transmitting and receiving on COM 1. We are not in need of monitoring COM 2. But yeah, transmitting and receiving on COM 1 with 21.9 our ground frequency on right now. And so we're good to go there. Alright, we've got our clearance already. So with our clearance already obtained, the next thing to do is just get it entered into the box here. KRDU, enter and accept. We're going to go to menu and departures. I'm going to go just to assume 5 left for now. Now, if they change it to 5 right, that doesn't even change anything for us because it's simply runway heading and then radar vectors to Phyton. So that doesn't change whether it's 5 left or 5 right, so I'm not even going to bother changing it if we get reassigned. I'm going to assume 5 left. Normally, at this airport, our SOP is just taxiing to the closest departure runway because it doesn't really matter. Unless it's super busy, we don't worry about, you know, westbound departures going off the left side, eastbound departures going off the east side. We can launch from either one. When it's relatively not busy, we can launch from either one and we don't worry about it. But, yeah, so we'll assume 5 left. That's going to be choice number 1. Enter. It is going to be the hooks. That's choice 2. Enter. It is to dots. Enter. We'll put that in the flight plan, and then we'll go from dots. Mr. Pitt, MRPIT. Enter. Accept. 6 is going to be... Okay, well, actually from Mr. Pitt, we're going to be on Q409, so let's do a list of the airways from Mr. Pitt. Yeah, number 1, Q409. That's going to be to Sessu, which is choice number 6. Enter. That puts in all the pertinent points in between are now entered, and then everything else is going to be Essence and then Lunny 2. But that's all going to be off of KJAX, so we'll just put KJAX here and enter and accept. Now, do we have
your failed slant ghost?
let's get let's see if we can get a preview as to what ATIS, KJAX, ATIS. Let's see if we can get just a preview of what they're going to be landing there. We'll get the 8 and 14.
Correct.
We'll just assume runway 8 maybe. Do they have what do they have as far as instrument approaches to 8 and 14? Just
Charlie ground American 703. I'll take Charlie 7 when I get to Terminal 2. Thank you for the ATC.
So we'll go ILS Yankee to runway 8.
American 703, roger, thanks for flying, bye-bye.
And I don't know if that's what we're actually going to get or not, but we'll put it in there as a best guess for now. If we end up having to change it, we can change it later. Let's go to menu. Let's go to arrivals. We think it's going to be runway 8 and enter. It's going to be the Essence, Lunny 2.
With weather formation, Kilo.
Lunny 2, enter from Essence, enter. And we said ILS Yankee to runway 8, enter.
Copy
and,
that, sorry. 400.
I want a,
American 778, what runway is departure?
American 778, you'll most likely be runway 5 left.
it asked me if I wanted it from the point Libby. Yeah, I guess that's all I want is from the point Libby. There's not much else there we can use, so we'll just use Libby as our initial fix and enter and put all that in the flight plan. And again, if we end up having to change all that later on, we can certainly do that. Alright, so that's all taken care of. Apocalypse, please, is here. Hello, welcome. Good to see you back.
American 14,
let's go to the nav page and make sure, yeah, fighting is the first point. And, yeah, we're good to go. Squawk and transponder was already done, so we're kind of ahead of the game there. Let's go up and set everything on our autopilot panel. The initial heading is going to be, I mean, we're going to just assume runway heading. There was no headings depicted on the hooks. There's nothing depicted around the airport. So we're just going to assume runway heading, and then we'll put in something different if need be. So the runway heading, we'll just say 54. Okay, 50. There's 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 54. We're going to put that in RNAV mode.
Sorry, 400, running round.
Sorry, 400, go ahead.
Sorry, 400.
The initial altitude, we said 6,000.
I'll check.
Let's get the heading mode also. Oh, I'm sorry, we need flight directors on first, and then we'll arm heading mode, and then we'll arm the altitude select.
Just set the flight plan. Sorry, 400.
Sorry, 400, roger. I'm just going to see you now, just stand by.
Alright, we are pushing out from Charlie 18. How close are we in terms of, we got another minute left in our boarding. Another 10 passengers to get on or so. And so we'll take another look at this route while we're waiting. So it's going to be runway heading, and then radar vectors to this point, hooks, and then Fayetteville. That is Mr. Pitt right there. And then we're on the Q409. I guess if I look at the high instead of the low, we'd see this airway. Okay, there we go. So there's Mr. Pitt, and then we're on the Q409, which is a southwestbound route only, and then Sassu. From Sassu, we're direct to Essent, and then the Lunny 2. We might as well just pull up the Lunny 2. Is the Lunny 2 one where we're going to have to do a lot of manual planning in terms of the descent? No. Got be at 10. Ben's at 240 and got be at 10. Guess we can verify that those restrictions are in there. Let's go to VNav.
Qatari
Fence at 24 and got me at 10, so yeah, we're all good there.
Do you want us to call you after pushback, or would we be ready for taxi?
Alright, so I think we're ready. I think we're good. The door's just closed, so we are ready to rock and roll here.
Taxi, Qatari 400.
Alright, doors are closed. Parking brake is confirmed on. We do see brake pressure. We can go ahead and pull the wheel chocks. Go ahead and get our elevator trim set by clicking on the center of gravity. We should notice this wheel down here change position when we do that, and it does. Let's go ahead and get our oxygen systems on now that we've got everything closed up. On the overhead, we'll get the fasten seatbelt signs on. Cruise cabin pressure, we're going to be cruising at 28,000 for both legs today. Oh, rate we don't want to change. Yeah, so we'll expect 7,500 cabin, perceived cabin altitude when we get up to cruise. Ice detection can come on and be regarded, and then the engine anti-ice will be on just for the startup sequence. We can come down here to the TMS. We know that the outside air temp is 14. 740 seems like a good starting point for that. Let's get the power on, and we'll get takeoff mode set. 91.5 is our takeoff N1 setting. So we'll go ahead and click on a flaps 18, and we'll get all our bugs set, including the engine bugs 91.5. Okay. Greetings from the flight deck, and welcome aboard American Eagle Flight 5514 service to Jacksonville. We are going to be pushing back from the gate here in just about 7 minutes. Might even get pushed a couple of minutes early. We're expecting to be wheels up at quarter till the hour. Flight time once we're airborne, 1 hour 18 minutes, and we'll be cruising at 28,000 feet for you today. Weather in this region is beautiful. We've got calm surface winds and high pressure throughout the southeastern U.S., and it should be a beautiful day for flying, so we're so pleased that you've come along with us to join us for it. Thanks again for flying with us on American Eagle Flight 5514 service, Jacksonville.
Qatari 400 Raleigh ground, ready for taxi.
Alright, let's go ahead and get our pushback planned.
Sorry, 400.
We're just going to push back and pivot to the right.
Foxtrot Bravo 1, information kilos code.
Taxi via Foxtrot Bravo 1 for runway 5 left, and we have kilo.
Roger, thank you.
Qatari 400.
Okay, pushback is on its way. The beacon light can come on. We'll come up top to the overhead. We'll get the pack off momentarily. Remaining fuel pumps can come on. Whoops, on, I said. Start master can come on. And I think we are ready to roll. Let's let's double check. Nobody else in this alleyway here, so I think we're good. Release parking brake, release hold, and we'll start with the number 4.
Sorry, 400, contact departure 124.905.
Wait until about 2.0.
124.905 for Qatari 400. Bye-bye. Take care.
Fuel coming in. Okay, parking brake reset. Done with that. As the red light goes out, come up top, do the number 3. 2.0, fuel coming in. You see the throttle lever comes up out of that cutoff position when we do that. Comes up through about 12. You see, when it comes up through about 10, you'll see it really start to surge up. And then when it comes up through about 12, you see the red light go off here. There we are. Number 2, start. Through 10, we'll watch it kind of take off. No pun intended. There it goes. Up through about 13, yeah, the red light comes off, and then we'll do the 4th and final. Okay, 2% in, fuel comes in. %, is going to go start to go. There we go, through 13, red lights off. Okay, up top we can go starter selector off, start master off. Engine anti-icing can come off. Gens can come on. Screen and probe heats can come on. Packs can come back on. Up top we can go hydraulic pumps on. And then as soon as they show pressure, we get the crossfeed, hydraulic emergency crossfeed. These basically just keep hydraulic pressure in the system in case we lose the gens. But let me just make sure I get everything. Start master off, engine anti-icing, gens, packs, screen and probe heats, hydraulic pumps. And okay, we are set. Let us stick our master warning system back online. Set our flaps. We'll do our flight control check. Parking brake release and make sure that we still got brake pressure. Good. Minimum departure fuel 4,900 kilos. Yeah, we're good. We got about 7,000 kilos, so we're okay. Oh, and let's do our config check here. Config check is passed. Alright, as we get rolling, we get our weather radar on. Actually, we'll just do that now. Alright, let me do a quick update of the ATIS, see if it's updated or if it's still kilo. Information kilo is still current. And we expect that we're just going to come out here and then come down either Foxtrot or Bravo to Bravo 1 to 5 left. Raleigh ground Piedmont 5514. We're pushed off for Charlie 18 information kilo. Ready to taxi.
Piedmont 6514, Raleigh ground sanction information kilo. Runway 5 left, taxi via Foxtrot Bravo 1.
At Foxtrot Bravo 1 to 5 left. Piedmont 5514. Alright, away we go.
778, ready to taxi to 5 left.
American 778, runway 5 left, taxi via Foxtrot Bravo 1, information kilos code.
Somebody else just got Foxtrot Bravo 1, the 5 less. We got to make sure that they're not going to run us over. I don't see them. Okay, maybe that American over there.
And American 778, just for information, on your PDC, the request was to contact AEC for pushback as you're pushing back onto the taxiway, just for next time.
Okay, he may be that guy up there. If he's that guy up there, then...
No, I didn't see that part.
If he's that guy up there, then it's...
778, no worries. You can contact departure now.
No wonder, no wonder we didn't get a sequence instruction. There was no chance we were going to hit him. Alright, a little early for this, but we'll go ahead and get it into TA and RA. As soon as we're sure we are number one, we will get cabin crew alerted, continuous ignition on, and then just all the lights. See it? Yeah, it looks like we're going to be number one.
And Raleigh Ground, good evening. FedEx 320 heavy information kilo IFR to Orlando.
FedEx 320 heavy, Raleigh Ground, good evening, somewhere. Piedmont 5514, you can contact departure now 124.905, bye-bye.
Alright, 2495, Piedmont 5514, thanks.
Holly.
Oh, departure Piedmont 5514. Hey Jeff, rolling up on 5 left, ready to go.
Piedmont 5514, good evening, sir. Runway 5 left, line up and wait.
I will line up and wait 5 left, Piedmont 5514.
778 heavy, radar contact tail. American 778 heavy, radar contact, stay out.
We do have our
American 778, climbing 2500, climbing for 6000.
strobe lights on.
778 heavy, climb maintain 2000%.
Landing and turn-offs as soon as we are there to go.
2000, direct to Acre. American 778.
Piedmont 5514, fly heading, runway heading, wind at 3203, runway 5 left, clear for takeoff, caution wake turbulence, previously deployed heavy aircraft.
Caution wake turbulence, runway heading, 5 left, clear for takeoff, Piedmont 5514. Alright. Lights are on.
TMS set to take off.
No warnings. Takeoff power coming at you.
Raleigh approach helicopter, light flight 2.
Helicopter light flight 2, right.
Speed alive, both sides.
Yeah, let's go
Power set,
VFR,
and
the
watch.
flight on 1,500
18
down
knots
to
cross
Johnson
checked.
County. We're in EC-45 helicopter.
Try not to overcorrect on the rudder, but it's really sensitive at this on the takeoff roll.
V1. Rotate.
VFR
V2.
interval of 4,500, park ground on route, so I say
All right, pitch to the pitch to the bubble, up to 1400, aka 1000 AGL.
American 778 Heavy. Can you verify your direct Echo Alpha Golf Echo Romeo?
Okay, there's 1000. We're going to max continuous. Lower the nose. Let the speed come up.
Okay, American 778 Heavy, turn left, heading 260. I'm going to hand you off.
See if we can capture a nice low vertical speed.
VFTO, safe high speed, select to flaps.
Come on. Departure Piedmont 5514, 2600 going to 6.
55. Might be capable of 2,000 light up.
Alright, 12000 direct Fighton, Piedmont 5514.
778 Heavy, contact Washington Center 126.8.
Yeah, that should be around to the right. And let's go ahead and capture the indicated airspeed at 250. Let's come down here and get a direct to Fighton enter. And we overshot it as soon as we put the line in, so continue the right turn coming around.
Yeah, we'll take flight following, but if we go outside your airspace, no need to hand us off like flight 2.
For us.
Alright, so we'll put another direct 2 in, so we don't have to come back to an imaginary line. We're just going to go direct to that point, so we don't have to come back to that line that we overshot, that line that we drew. So let's just draw it again. Do it one more time. And I'll explain what I'm talking about with that in just a moment here. There we go. One more time. Nath Dog 208 was the ground controller. I recognize the name. Good to see you. Good to talk to you. Thank you for the service. Appreciate it. Let's tell you what. Let's take it out of indicated airspeed hold. I'll pitch up and keep the 250 here. We're just a touch fast. So I'm going to pitch up, get it back down to 250. There we go. Now we'll recapture the indicated airspeed. Alright, we are through 10. Let's do a couple of things. Continuous ignition can come off. Engine air can come on. APU air can come on. APU can come off. APU can come off. APU air can come off. APU can come off. And then up top we can turn the PTU and AC pumps off. We also want to do a cabin pressure check. Cabin pressure's climbing, still at a normal level, and the differential pressure still at a normal level as well. Alright, we're going to level here at 12. We're just gonna manually throttle to 300 knots here. We're stuck here at 12 waiting for higher. Through 10,000 we can get the forward facing lights off, by the way.
Give my 5514 contact Washington Center 1620.
Which frequency?
2687.
Hi, 126.87. We'll keep my 5514. Thanks. Washington Center, Piedmont 5514, level 12000.
Piedmont 5514, Washington Center, hello. Climb maintain, flight level 210.
Flight level 210, Piedmont 5514. Okay.
Washington Center, good evening, Red Tape 55, flight level 190.
Red Tape 55, Washington Center, hello. Climb maintain, flight level 360.
Maintain flight level 360.
There you go, back to maximum continuous thrust. Got the throttle levers back up. Re-pitch to achieve that 250. Psychic Taco, I'll come back. The answer to that question is yes, and I will come back to that with a perfect explanation. Let me get back to the 250 knots, and then I'll recapture the indicated airspeed and let it control our pitch to maintain that 250.
375 heavy with you, flight level 390, about 7 miles from Dizzy.
American 375, Washington Center, hello. Able to climb to...
So Psychic Taco says, whenever I'm checking VATSIM radar, Raleigh seems to have consistent staffing of some kind on most nights. Is there a reason behind that? There is. And the reason is, that is the airport that the Washington ARTCC on VATSIM does all of its training at. So all of your brand new ground controllers, your brand new tower controllers, your brand new approach controllers, all do that initial training at RDU.
Postman 204, Washington Center, hello. JetBlue 2523, say Mach number.
Good fixes this here.
Het is vingerlicht good.
Are we back in max continuous?
JetBlue 2523, Washington Center, say Mach number.
250. Flaps got retracted.
Southwest 3109, turn right heading 270, vector
18. Get to standard pressure.
Right heading 270, southwest 3109.
992.
On 6514, climb maintain flight level 280.
Flight level 280, Piedmont 5514.
November 122, Juliet, contact Jacksonville Center.
Alright, cleared all the way up to 280 now.
132.9 or 2.
Alright, we're through standard. Let's do another cabin pressure check. Still climbing at a normal rate. Cabin altitude is approaching 7,500, which is going to be where it's should settle, and differential pressure still within the normal limits. Everything's good.
J 1035, maintain Mach 0.82 or greater.
I'm going to flip nav over to that side. We're going to do VNav on this side.
Roger, thank you.
Enter our target vertical speed of 2,000 and enter. Yeah, we're still 234 miles from top of the descent. We're not even at flight level 240 or higher.
American 778.
But we'll just start to get the VNav set up for whenever it's time. Don't need the airport diagram at Raleigh. We actually don't need the Hooks 5 departure anymore. We're pretty much done with that. Where are we? Are we still directed to DOTS? Yeah, we're still direct to DOTS, so we're still technically following the departure, but nothing on there that we need in terms of information, so we can go ahead and close it.
That was 674 to maintain flight level 290.
My presumption.
American 778, I maintain flight level 380.
My presumption was that the bulk of the traffic was going to kind of be at Miami and Orlando tonight. So I'm figuring. Yeah, so we got Orlando 12, Miami 23, Jacksonville a little lighter. Yeah, so I'm kind of figuring that we've hopefully chosen wisely in terms of not getting clogged in a major ground delay once we get to Jacksonville.
JetBlue 2523 Washington Center, say Mach number. American 778, are you direct zipper?
Oh, look at Moose. Moose is flying out of Key West. Key West to Orlando. We'll probably hear him on the frequency at some point tonight. As well, we've got a moment, a couple of program notes. We, whether or not you're new to the channel, you may or may not know about our bi-monthly Alphabets points raffle. That's the one that you enter with the Twitch channel points, aka the Alphabets points. At the bottom of the chat panel, you got the Alphabet serial icon that represents those, and you got the buttons there. The button there that tells you how many you have, and then you press on that button, you get the options to cash in 2,000 at a time for an entry into that Alphabets raffle. If you save up and cash in 10,000 at a time, you'll get your 6 entries for the price of 5. So 10,000 for 2. I'm sorry, 2,000 for 1, 10,000 for 6. This is going to be the final Alphabets raffle. It'll be drawn on November the 28th. So just over a month away, we'll do that last Alphabets points raffle, and then we got a brand new channel activity that we're going to unveil for you in the month of December. So one final time to get in on that Alphabets raffle, and then the other thing is, since we're taking the stream back to three times a week versus 2 times a week, we're going to go back to doing the landing rate raffle every single month, starting next month in November. So yeah, back to our Monday, Wednesday, Friday rotation. Once we get to November, we got one more Tuesday to do next week, And then Friday we're off for personal obligation, and then starting in November we'll go back to Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Matter of fact, the first stream in November rather, Monday, November 3rd, it's going to be a special one.
3109, affirm.
We're going to start that one up at 9:30 in the morning. We're going to go for about 14 hours on that one. That's our annual tag-along World Flight charity stream. We're going to be tagging along with legs 11 through 14 of the annual World Flight week-long charity event. We're going to just do 14 hours rather than an entire week ourselves. The official teams that do that for a week, they have multiple crews rotating through in that 45 to 50 leg. 2787, PMI 5514, see ya. So the official teams do it for a week long, and they've got multiple crews rotating through a full-scale airliner cockpit replica that they fly on VATSIM for that entire week-long charity event. So we're only going to tag along for 10% of the thing, 4 of the 45 or so legs that they do. We're going to tag along for the 4 that they do on Monday during the day, and those are the 4 that happen to come through North America. I think we're going Cancun to Memphis, Memphis to Detroit, Detroit to
American 201, contact Jack Center.
What M80 or Boston? And then from wherever that is to Halifax, Nova Scotia. So, that's going to be a 14-hour stream. That's going to be a day-long giveaway day, and we're going to be collecting donations that day as well for the Animal Allies Rescue Foundation in Baltimore. 2 of our furry co-pilots came from that organization, a wonderful pet rescue organization in the Baltimore region, and my wife and I love supporting them. So our charity stream, our 14-hour charity stream, rather than our 168-hour charity stream, will be to benefit them. Jacksonville Center, Piedmont 5514 is 255 going to 280.
Piedmont 5514, Jack Center, hello.
Yeah, lots of Red Bull that day, and hopefully lots of donations that we can send along to the Animal Allies Rescue Foundation. We're going to be doing a lot of giveaways. We're going to be doing 1 giveaway per flight, and then we're going to do a big giveaway at the end, the grand prize, for which eligibility will be attained by a donation of $20 or more. And so we'll do that grand prize drawing at the very end of that day. And but all the prize money is not coming out of the donation. So anything that you donate, 100% of that, penny for penny, is going to the Animal Allies Rescue Foundation. I'll even chip in a little bit of my own on top of that, and then on top of that, I'll be furnishing the prizes and stuff for that day. So.
126.87. Get out of 1035, assume normal speed. Okay, normal speed, get out of 1035. Number 722, Charlie Papa, contact.
So yeah, we've got a number of changes coming up to the stream. We're going, change number 1, we're going back to the monthly landing rate raffle. Change number 2, we're abolishing the alphabets raffle at the end of November. Doing a new channel activity starting in December.
Subject 1615, Jack Center, hello.
Change number 3, we're going back to Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Now, there will still be variations on that. You'll have to check that show schedule underneath for variations, just like always. $1,000 to go. I'll go ahead and get the seatbelt signs off now. Seems like we're in pretty stable there.
27, Jack. Delta 1527, Jack Center.
Got a friend up here to the left. Greetings from the flight deck with an update. We have just about reached our cruise altitude. We turned off the fasten seatbelt signs, and the cabin crew is going to come around with a fine selection of Red Bull products, Mayport shrimp, and Camel Rider sandwiches. in honor of a visit to Jacksonville, Florida today. We will update you on the weather situation when we start our descent into Jacksonville, but in the meantime, sit back, relax, and thanks again for flying with us on an American Eagles Flight 5514. All right, we're going to watch it capture 28,000s. We're going to watch it switch modes. Yep, perfect. We're going to rebug our target speed, Mach 7.1 or thereabouts. Let that speed come up. As soon as it starts to settle in at our desired cruise speed, we'll go ahead and knock the power down from climb power to cruise power. And we'll just start with, what do I have it set at, 740? Yeah, we'll start at that. We'll start at that and we'll see how that does in terms of settling it. There's not really an auto throttle in this plane. This thrust management system does some functions of an auto throttle, but one thing it does not do is automatically monitor your speed and match a certain speed. We have to do that part manually, but once we know what adjustments we want to make to the power, we can then adjust it here, and then we'll just watch the effects. And assuming we get the crossing restrictions that are on the 182, it's Bent's at flight level 240, then Gotby at 10. Those are indeed in here, and this box will tell us what vertical descent rate we need to achieve to hit those. Right now it's telling us we need to descend at 150 feet per minute. Well, that's because we're 156 miles from top of descent. The closer we get to top of descent, the steeper a descent we'll have to make in order to achieve that restriction. And it's calculated this top of descent so that this is the target descent rate that it will be hitting at that point. Alright, speed's starting to come up. Looks like we're getting about 400 knots across the ground. And so I'm going to go ahead and knock the... Well, I'm going to do two things. First of all, I'm going to center up the heading bug, just in case we get a vector for traffic. The heading bug is going to start from the position of being the direction that we are flying. Secondly, I'm going to go ahead and set the throttles to target gas temps. It's telling us we need to lower the throttles sticks in order to achieve that. Okay, so as those lights go out, that means we've lowered the sticks enough. Okay, it's now going to fine-tune that 740 across the board. And we will see, is the bubble still increasing? Is the ground speed still increasing? We will see if that 740 achieves what we want in terms of speed or whether we need to make an adjustment. JJ is here. And yeah, Heisenberg is checked in, and Kenny Monster says, yeah, Miami's going to be swamped. Derek's already spacing out here in Houston. Yeah, no doubt. We figured Miami and Orlando would take the brunt of the traffic, and that's why I chose Jacksonville. Well, the first reason I chose Jacksonville was because it allows us a nice, long, hour and 15-minute flight to Key West from there. So in terms of just the flight duration I wanted, it with Key West being our second stop, it was the right choice. But as soon as I said that, I was like, the other benefit to that is, you know, that Jax is going to be much less heavily overloaded than Orlando. Bent's at flight level 240, Piedmont 5514. Okay, now, I'm going to set 240 because we've been cleared to that, but I'm not going to arm or make any changes to that because we're still 137 miles from top of descent. In terms of achieving that. So we got the crossing restriction. We will cross that point at that altitude, but we don't need to start down yet. Looks like the speed is still drifting up just a tiny bit.
34 Jackson, our left.
The bubble's fine, and we can adjust the bubble to wherever we want it. But I'm going to watch this 413 knots across the ground and see if it continues to drift up, or if it settles in right where it is, and we're below the VNE speed, then I'm fine. But if it continues to creep up and starts flirting with that barber pole, then we'll maybe knock. Yeah, just knock this down 10 degrees.
Up to 1615 instead of maintain flammable 330.
And then let's just plan ahead. Do we have the Jacksonville Edison range? We checked it earlier. Hotel is now current 3015. 3015. I'm going to go ahead and set in the standby just to have it as a glance down reference. May change between time from now to our top of the descent, but we can always adjust it. At least we'll get into the ballpark there. 0805. We know they're arriving on 8 and 14. Visual approaches to 8 and 14. Departing runways 8 and 14. So we don't know which we're going to get in terms of our descent. But we can prepare for both. I've got the ILS runway
American 1861 Jack Center.
ILS Yankee to runway 8 programmed in.
Maintain flammable 320.
But if we end up having to change that, we can certainly do that. And then our parking location tonight for American.
Okay, New England and 1886 Jackson are left.
American Park's down at the bottom end of this southern pier here, so that's what we're going to be aiming for in terms of parking. ILS Yankee 8. ILS Yankee 14.
390 traffic for climb. Or sorry, expedite climb for traffic. 390 expedite climb with the same 3 after way. American 1176, maintain flammable 380. Transition to Mach 0.75 spacing.
Okay, the ground speed's still kind of creeping up. I don't mind getting there in a hurry, but I don't want to hit that. I don't want to hit that overspeed warning, so we'll knock it down. Knock it down another 10 degrees, and then we'll see what happens to the ground speed. Kenny says you can take my parking spot at the National Guard ramp. Nah, we don't want to make our passengers walk all the way to the terminal. I'll take a regular passenger gate. That's a generous offer, though. I appreciate it. Yeah, we'll put our BAe-146 right next to the F-16. They're pretty similar in size. I'm not much bigger than an F-16.
1886, clear direct. Europe, maintain level 390. Maintain level 390. Direct Europe, maintain 390. Maintain. Just 1615, maintain level 350. 350. Jack 9, Jeff 738, 350. Kilo 728, Jack, center low. Navy Lima Alpha 36, pilot's discretion, maintain flammable 240.
It looks like the speed's settled in perfectly here, so we're good. Now, we're 101 miles to the next waypoint, 105 miles from top of descent, so we can kind of use this as a countdown to our descent. Let's take a deeper look at the ATIS information. I started to... we just heard him be called on the radio. Okay, so it didn't know what to use to represent him. So it used something else. That's fine. I don't know what he's logged on as, but not going to worry about that. Alright, so that hasn't changed. 3015 we did say is already kind of programmed into the standby altimeter. We know that the visual approaches are in use. If we land on runway 8, the 5-knot wind is basically right down the center line. If we land on 14, it's going to be a very slight left to right 5-knot quartering headwind. Few clouds at 25,000, so we're going to call that mostly clear. And then the temp at 20, what is that, like right about 68 degrees? Yeah, so upper 60s, mostly clear, very light winds. So just preparing what I'm going to say to our passengers when we are starting our descent. Still 90 miles before we do. One thing I can do is we can assume we're going to get the ILS Yankee. Well, actually, we're probably going to get a visual approach, right? So, more than likely, the instrument approaches aren't even going to be our primary. These are going to just be for situational awareness on the instruments. Visual approach for runways 8 and 14. So, but since we're going to be using these for situational awareness, we can get ahead of the game here. 110.7, 110.5.
American 520 contact Jax 127.47.
110.7 is already tuned in. 110.5 we get into standby. Missed approach if we were to switch from the visual to ILS.
Southbound 777 floodable. Never mind, you disconnected.
So Craig VOR 14.5 and Craig VOR 14.5. So 114.5 is going to be the missed approach nav aid, regardless of which approach we end up on. We'll go ahead and get that tuned. Just to pick one and stick with it, since we already programmed in the ILS 8 into the box, let's just go ahead and get the rest of the parameters set in. 077, and then it would be a 290 off of the Craig VOR. So 077 and then 290. Again, so we're going to set these as though we're getting the ILS to runway 8.
Total 200 Jackson, our left.
I think I went the long way around on both of those. That's okay. These knobs are pretty quick.
17, same Mach number.
Zero 77.
917, maintain Mach 0.75.
In either case, the minimum's 230.
178 instead of maintain floodable 340, same Mach number.
Minimum's 306 there. So let's just set the minimums. And again, we're going to set a radio altimeter to 279 at a minimum. Since it's not a Category 2 approach, I really should set a radio altimeter as my alerter. So what I'm going to have to do, I'm just going to add 100 and 150 or so as a buffer, just in case there's a difference between the terrain elevation at the missed approach point and the terrain elevation at the runway threshold. So that'll kind of account for, making sure the alerter goes off before the actual published minimums, but we'll just have to know that we're bound by either this 306 or the 230. I'm just going to set it to like 400 just to be a little on the conservative side.
30 miles southwest of Journey, flight level 240.
Florida's pretty flat, so there's not a lot of terrain variation. But again, and that's why you have that Category 2 plaque. If we were going to really do this the right way, we'd be looking at a Category 2 chart, and we would set the minimum to the value on the chart. But since we're using a radio altimeter on a Category 1, which is a barometric minimum, we'll just have to know that the alerter will not necessarily coincide with the published minimums.
Level 45, correction, 2561 Jack Center, hello.
Jack Center, good evening. Tango 41 is at flight level 370.
Tango 41 Jack Center, good afternoon.
So what did it make in here? Oh, he's a P8, so it really probably should have used a 737. Isn't the P8 very similar to a 737? I may have to put that in my model matching rules. Well, we can fix that. Not going to worry about it right now.
Yeah, that is 1035 to set a maintain flight level 340.
Maintain flight level 340 United.
Tango 41 to set a maintain flight level 330. Expedite descent for traffic at 11 o'clock. 70 miles converging, same altitude. A320.
Alright, descend and maintain flight level 330 immediately. Tango 41.
And Bengal 41, I'm sorry, make it 350.
350, Bengal 41.
Pilot Club 178, contact Jacksonville 127.47. 2747, Pilot Club 178, thanks. Heavy Lima,
All right.
Alpha 36, advise living flight level 310. Heavy Lima, Alpha 36, roger, contact Jax 132.92, see ya.
Another thing we can do to get a little bit ahead of the game here. Jack's Tower 18.3, Jack's Ground 21.9. We get those set up on COM too. 18.3, 21.9. Whoops.
Funnel 2561 that is approved, report back.
I know 21.9's already set on the left side, but I kind of like having the ground and the right tower on the left, just visually.
First 917, turn right heading 220.
18.3, is that what I said? Okay, so that'll give us a one-touch switch to the tower frequency, and then from there a one-touch switch to the ground frequency.
Converging VS35, flight level 351, descending 350. Thanks.
All right, 38 miles to top of descent. Well, 38. I think it was like a 3 or 4 mile differential between the next waypoint.
Emirates
40,
917, clearing
36. Yeah, 4 mile differential between the next waypoint and the top of descent. Anything changed with the forecast?
Tango 41 traffic, 1 o'clock, 3 miles southbound, crossing A320, flight level 360.
Information India now, 3016. Okay, that's updated slightly.
Roger. American 1861, clear job roll, maintain Mach
0503 now, so now it's only 3 knots, but it's now swung around a little bit from the northeast. Still very light winds. Few clouds at 25,000, and the temperatures drop to the mid-60s. So very light winds, mostly clear skies, and mid-60s.
And Bengal 41, with your cruise Are you looking to do some sort of MOA operations, or are you looking to descend all the way down to Beaufort now?
Just settle down to Beaufort right now. I have an appointment to meet. Tango for 1.
Tango 41, roger. Turn left heading 010, vector descent.
Vector to 010, vector to descent. Tango for 1.
Emirates 917, contact Jax 127.47. American 2334, resume normal speed.
All right, 20 miles and change to top of descent. Go ahead and get the
American 1861, do not exceed Mach 0.75.
fasten seatbelt signs on. And we're going to go ahead and start repressurizing. Field elevation at Jax is basically nothing. So we'll go ahead and repressurize for 0.
Bengal 41, confirm your descending flight level 290.
Went a little past below that. I'm trying to come back up to flight level 290. Currently at flight level 280, Bengal 41.
Yeah, Bengal 41, descend and maintain flight level 240.
Descend and maintain flight level 240, Bengal 41.
We'll go ahead and arm that. And what are we at? Basically 280. Yeah, so honestly, we'll just keep that on the way down. So initially we'll pop it in the indicated airspeed mode. It'll hold the airspeed for us, and we'll just reduce the throttles, and that will start us into a descent. Greetings from the flight deck with an update. We have turned on the fasten seatbelt signs and asked you to return to your seats and fasten your seatbelts, as we are just getting ready to start our descent into Jacksonville. The cabin crew is going to come around one final time to collect trash and take care of any last-minute needs. The weather down there is currently beautiful. It is in the mid-60s with very, very light winds and mostly clear skies. We expect to be on the ground for you in about 25 minutes. Thanks again for flying with us on American Eagle.
American 1861, contact Jax 127.47.
We'll get you out for a liquid recycling break in just a moment.
Yeah. November 656, Alpha Sierra Jax Center.
Alright, let's turn this to the next waypoint.
American 1176, contact Jax 127.47.
Top of descent's 5 miles.
Bengal 41, flighting 340.
Heading 340, Bengal 41.
Jacksonville Center, Canada 7260, flight level 40.
Canada 7260, Jax Center low.
Just a gentle reduction in the throttles. It's pitching to maintain the indicated airspeed. So if we're putting less power behind the plane, in order to maintain that airspeed, it's got to pitch down, doesn't it? Alright, in order to achieve the crossing restriction, we need to be at 2,000 feet per minute. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit more throttle out.
Battle 1576, are you on the, confirm you're on the right frequency? I don't see where you're at.
We just passed the June time, or sorry, June 4.
Contact Center 12747.
Not bad about that, 127.47.
Hey, I'm going to Reduce the throttles and pitch up just slightly.
85 Jack Center, hello. Frontier 3699, same Mach number.
Get the speed down to a more precise 280.
Frontier 3699.796.
Frontier 3699, maintain Mach 0.79 or greater.
79 or greater, Frontier Flight 3699.
American 55, same Mach number.
0.86 and MSFS5.
Tango 41, contact center 13292, see ya.
And to achieve the crossing restriction.
Thank you, and we'll see you. Angle hold on.
American 55, so I'm sorry, what was the Mach number?
0.86 and MSFS5.
American 55, maintain Mach 0.77.
0.77 American 55.
Jet 6, now disregard. Jacksonville Center, good evening, Red Tape 55, flight level 360. Red Tape 25, Jack Center, hello.
Okay, now it says we can level off there at 240 for a little bit.
FedEx 28, Jack Center, hello. Correction, 320, Jack Center, hello. November 656, Alpha Sierra, Jack Center.
I'm going to put it back to altitude, should shift into capture mode. Yep, there it goes. And I'm going to throttle back up here to just manually.
14, contact Jack 132.92.
3292 P-Mod 5514.
Jet 1615, contact Jack 132.92.
13292, okay. For the 67, contact Jacksonville Center 127.47. 2747 for Dublin 670.
Jacksonville Center Piedmont 5514 is 240.
Piedmont 5514, Jacksonville Center, hello?
Well,
Jackson Jet 16.
we're going to keep flight level 240 because that's the only vertical instruction we've gotten so far. In 5 miles, it thinks we need to start descending to this point, Gotby. But we're not going to do that until Center tells us to. I'm just going to manually throttle to try and keep that bubble right there on 280 knots.
Jacksonville Center 127.47. Growing 2252, counting Jacksonville Center 127.47.
747, see the name.
Jacksonville Center, Gulf Stream 656 Alpha Sierra, level 40.
And enough done.
Piedmont 6514, cross Lunny at maintain 10,000 to Jacksonville, Center 3016.
3016 and Lunny at 10,000. Piedmont 5514. Now our FMC set up for Gotby at 10, but it's only 5 miles prior to Lunny, so it's going to be close enough as far as I'm concerned. We'll arm it down to 10. Reduce the throttles, get it back down to a 280 knot descent.
Taxi via Alpha Echo, report ready for departure.
Okay, there we go. And then what do we need in order to get to, we need 2250. Get to Gotby. So he said Lunny at 10. But Gotby and Lunny, they're only 5 miles apart, so I'm good with that. We'll just follow the I'm not, instead, I mean, I could adjust the box. It actually wouldn't be that difficult. Let's just do it.
Update 1615, cross 30, flight level 210. Jetty at 210.
So now it's going to recalculate. Okay, now we only need 1950. Well, we got that 5 extra miles to do it. Now we only need 1950 to do it.
2252.
There we go. I mean, it wouldn't have been that big a deal, right? We would have just been at our assigned altitude 5 miles early. But in order to just really do it properly by the book, we can go ahead and adjust the FMC to match our clearance. We're not quite down to 18 yet, but we can go ahead and set the 3016.
No, none in particular. I'll take any landing on any runway, Tango 41.
Tango 41, roger. You can proceed. Direct to airport, descend maintain.
And I'm sorry, buddy.
Alright, direct to the AC first. Marine Airport, descend maintain 5000, Tango 41.
Tango 41, you can expect the visual approach. No.
Okay, 1950 first. Okay, we're pretty much right on that. Good.
Requesting crossing runway 03. Looks like we're at a military base here.
We don't yet have our runway assignment. We'll get that when we get handed from center to
shared military
approach.
We're going to go to the passenger terminal. I think we're going to have to cross 03.
Oh, I was good. 267, Roger, you make that left turn.
We'll go ahead and start getting the plane set up.
All right, we'll cross 03 and taxi in our excursion jet to 267. Thank you.
1950, still nailing it. Once the APU's up and running, we can go ahead and transfer pack power over to the APU. And I know that seems strange to those of you who fly Boeings and Airbuses, but yeah, in this plane, the engines are so underpowered that you always want to have that extra bit of bleed power available to the engines rather than to the packs. So in order to make sure you have all power available to the engines in case of a go-around, any underpowered engines will get the APU running during the approach. APU air on, engine air off. ETU and AC pumps on.
323 November.
And we can go ahead and get the landing lights on. We'll get the turn-offs on.
4,000 false field and expect the visual for your
23 November, the altimeter 3024.
Turn-offs on with the landing clearance.
41 descend maintain 3000 report field.
And then how are we doing? Have any speeds on this approach? No.
41 descend maintain 3000 report field.
But when we get down to 10, we're going to want to slow it. At 10, we're okay to still be at 280. But then obviously below 10, we'll need to slow to 250 before we descend. Alright, let's talk to Jack Center, figure out which approach we're going to do here.
Piedmont 5514, contact Jacksonville approach 124.9. See you next time.
24-9, Jacksonville approach, Piedmont 5514, thanks.
Tango 41 has Navy.
Jacksonville approach, Piedmont 5514. We get information, India. We are 14,500 going to 10,000 at money.
Piedmont 5514, Jacksonville approach, hello. Expect ILS runway 8 approach.
ILS runway 8 approach, Jacksonville. I'm sorry, Piedmont 5514. You're Jacksonville, I'm Piedmont.
Yeah, it's 1231 to establish.
Okay, he assigned us the ILS to runway 8. That now means we are bound by those procedures. Finn, I'm sorry, buddy. Stop.
Yeah, 1231, contact tower.
Nobody's bothering you. Your sister is not torturing you right now.
118.3, you're not at 1231.
Okay, so the good news is we've already got the box set up. We've already got the 110.7077. If we go missed, it's straight to 3,000. Sorry, straight to 1,000, then left to 3,000. Then we join that 290 off of Craig. So right hand turn off if we make it down successfully. We do need to make,
turn right heading 180.
do need to make sure that we pull the throttles into ground idle once we get down. And we're going to do a 240 heading after Lunny for the chart. Okay, 240 after Lunny, and then we're just going to turn it into analog nav mode the rest of the way down.
Good evening, Delta 2265, Center for 1000.
And then our short final, that's with the landing clearance. We get the turn off lights, alert, continuous ignition, and the TMS off. So those three things once we get the landing clearance.
Yeah. I see an Air Force veteran on frequency.
This is 2.0 to going from Gotby to Lunny. Yep. Okay, so it's sending us on to that 240 vector. I'm going to now do that through the analog. I'm going to put some throttle back into, because we've leveled off, but I do want to reduce the speed to 250. Finn, I can't help you right now, bud. So level at 10, slowing to 250.
Piedmont 5514, turn right heading 260.
260, Piedmont 5514.
Delta 1096, if done already, descend and maintain 2000.
Okay. So basically on a straight up downwind heading. This might be the airport right here. Stop. So yeah, there's bang on 250, so let's adjust the bug right there.
Victor Hotel, Alpha Sierra, after turn left 30 degrees for traffic.
Left 30 for traffic, Sierra Oscar.
I just need you to get 1,000 feet. It
Hold on
might
one
be
second,
okay,
guys.
just in case. Piedmont 5514, descend and maintain 6,000. Delta 2265, descend and maintain 6,000, so heading 170.
Okay, I did answer him, you didn't hear it. I was muted for just a second.
Victor Hotel, Alpha Sierra Oscar, sorry about that. Proceed direct to Xbox.
Direct Xbox, Sierra Oscar.
Delta 1086, expect sectors across the runway.
This is Slant helped us out by grabbing the furry co-pilot.
Delta 1086, clear for the visual runway 8 approach, and once steps on the final push course, contact.
So I got the throttles back. We're gonna just pitch down to recapture 250 knots.
Victor Hotel, Alpha Sierra Oscar, contact center 127.47.
Center on 127.7, Sierra Oscar.
That'll be 127.47.
What is 7.47, sorry?
Okay, so now we can... Alright, so we're armed down to 6, captured the indicated airspeed.
American 1526, check full departure, radar contact, climb and maintain
And
15,000.
pitched to maintain 250. That might be the airport right there. Hey, Les. Yeah, pretty Pretty sure that's going to be our airport right there. Approach Piedmont 5514. Not sure how adventurous you're feeling with us, but we do have the field in sight.
Piedmont 5514, I'm going to keep you on the ILS just right now. I want to make sure you get past the Delta this time.
Okay, no worries. Just thought we'd offer.
Piedmont 5514, clear for the visual runway 14 approach. Advise the South Clinical approach course.
Okay, you want us on 14? We can do that. Piedmont 5514, clear visual approach runway 14.
If you don't mind.
Yeah, we can do it. Alright, you guys can start putting some predictions into the chat as far as the vertical descent rate at the moment the wheels touch runway surface. No bot command necessary. Just a number into the chat, positive or negative. Know that you mean a descent rate either way.
American 1526, proceed direct to X Fox.
One 137. Bring it down to 210. Yeah, you guys can start putting some predictions into the chat as far as the vertical descent rate at the moment the wheels touch runway surface. There's no bot command necessary for that, just a number into the chat, positive or negative. We will know that you mean a descent rate either way.
Down to 3,000, about 2265.
And the closest predictor is going to get an automatic entry into our
frame, just went right down.
monthly landing rate raffle. Bi-monthly for now, and then soon to be monthly again. We got this traffic that's coming in for runway 8. We're going to need to slow down. Approach Piedmont 5514. We're about to turn final for 14. We do see the traffic coming in for 8. I'm going to turn just slightly wide and re-intercept if that's okay.
You do whatever you need to do. I got you.
We got you. Piedmont 5514. Thanks.
That's 1096. If not already, contact Jacksonville Tower 118.2.
All right, first notch of flaps, gear coming out. Okay, looks like that traffic is basically crossing the threshold. So we are good. Let's get our bugs set.
Piedmont 5514, contact Tower 118.3.
Tower 18.3, Piedmont 5514. Jacksonville Tower, Piedmont 5514 is about 5 out, visual 14.
Piedmont 5514, Jackson Tower, traffic 1 apart prior to arrival, waiting 050 at 3, runway 14, clear land.
I will be watching for the departing traffic and clear to land 14, Piedmont 5514.
Speed jet below
Delta
170.
1096, welcome to track, make the right when able, connect ground 1 to 1.9.
Alright, we'll get the,
Localizer aft. Localizer captured. Glide slope captured. Established on the ILS.
okay, we can get continuous ignition. EMS. And last call coming in for those predictions, guys. We kind of wandered back high on our glide slope. We'll get that fixed.
United 2886, contact departure.
Contact departure, United 2886.
Okay, gears down and green. Flaps 30 set and checked. Speed and glide's good. Left hand turn off if we make it down. Don't forget to kick it into ground idle when we touch down.
+100. Minimums. 50, 40, 30, 20.
Oh, overflared it badly. Let's just settle it down.
10.
Oh my god, it didn't even register.
Ground idle.
Oh, that sucks. It's probably fair. I'm going to just say 300. It's a fairly firm one.
80 knots.
Yeah, I was chasing
60 knots.
the speed and the glide on that last section there, so. Happy with the approach for the most part.
14, make the right when able, contact ground 121 point. Thanks for flying in.
Oh, sorry, we turned left instead of right. Hopefully that's what you meant, and we'll go over to ground. B-5514.
Yeah, it's last one able. I'm so used to people landing runway 8. You're first.
All good. B-5514. We'll see you. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks.
Jacksonville ground, P-5514's off of runway 14, and we're going to the southern end of Charlie Pier.
P-5514, Jacksonville ground, welcome me deck C, straight into the ramp for Romeo, having a night.
Alright, straight in via Romeo, P-5514, we'll talk to you soon.
TWA 701, runway 08, taxi by Juliet Delta Lima.
Nova hit the follow button a little bit ago. Thank you very kindly for that. Alright, spoilers, flaps.
And TBJ 701, sorry about that. Runway 14 by Juliet Delta Lima.
Yeah, no worries. Juliet
Landing lights on, taxi light. The landing lights off, taxi light on. Strobe lights off. Got the weather radar off. Got the flight directors off. Yeah, an RA can come off. Yeah, I'm just going to say, I don't know what the number was, but ELW was the highest guess, and it's probably going to be him. Nova says, I dropped a follow, came across you in an old Air Force Proud video. Solo ATC goes God mode. Yeah, that wasn't me as the solo controller, though. I think that was Jersey Aviator was the controller in that video, if I recall correctly. But I'm sure it was in there somewhere. Yeah, I don't know what the exact number was, but I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna say it was easily higher than 188. But yeah, appreciate the follow, man. Hope that you'll stop back and see us. Let me make sure I did all the taxi in items, because we're at the gate now. Taxi light could have come off before I got onto the ramp, but that's okay. Speed braking flat, flight directors, landing lights, road lights. Turn off lights that I get off. Yeah, oh, and continuous ignition could have come off. Weather radar and transponder. So we did all that. Let's get the master warning knob engaged. Oxygen systems can come off. Set up for our quick turn here at Jacksonville. So oxygen systems can come off. Let's go up top here. Engine gens 1 and 4 can come off. Pack number 2 can come off. Cutoffs times 4. Make sure all 4 go into the red. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, good. Fasten seatbelt signs can come off. Fuel pumps 1, 3, and 4. Whoops, 1, 3, and 4. Screen and probe heats. Ice detection. Beacon light. Come over here and get the wheel chocks set. Doors open. Get the emergency cross. Now this is a good demonstration, okay? So these pumps are already off, right? Because the engines are off. But you notice how we still have pressure in the hydraulic system. That is exactly what these two do, and this is why you have them on during takeoff and landing. There's supplemental hydraulic pumps so that they basically just keep the pressure that you have. So in case you lose these pumps, you still have hydraulic pressure. Once you shut those off, look, there we go. Okay. That's a good demonstration of what they are there for. I don't know how they work, but that's what they do. I ain't a damn engineer. I'm just a pretend pilot. Let's get the squawk set to 2,000 and then back into standby mode. We can see the brake temps are not too bad coming down now. Let's do a check of my predictions first, the fuel and the ETA predictions, and then we will check on your... Well, no, we're not going to check on your predictions. I'm just going to go ahead and give the ticket to EL, who had that highest guess. All right, let me close and restart the... That's... And hopefully that'll deploy properly on the second time around. I do think that's very easily was higher than 188, though. I feel that I'm being fair in awarding ELW that ticket based on how we kind of plopped it down there. And I was chasing the glide slope and the speed. And they definitely way overflared it. What's today? 1024? Definitely overflared it. So if I had just raised the nose just a tiny little bit and let the plane settle in nicely, that would have worked out a lot better than just watching all of that speed decay while I was still 15 feet above the runway. Common mistake that I make in this airplane. Part of it was the frame rates. I felt like the frame rates weren't great, like we were getting a little bit jittery performance from the sim there. Maybe that was part of it too. Anyway. So, ELW, you got the win. Let's at least check on my predictions here and see. Flight time and fuel, and then we do have a little bit of fuel to add for leg number 2. So I had predicted... I had predicted we were going to be down at 9:08, and it's good. 13 minutes early. Let's see how we did in terms of 10,000 pounds of fuel remaining. Yeah, perfect on that. 10,649, so that's good. So we're going to add... We're just basically going to refill the center tank. It's 4429, but if I just hit 4,500 and enter it, we'll fix it to that. We'll do an instant refuel. And then, yeah, and then I'll take a quick break out of the cockpit for a little liquid recycling. We'll see if we can get the ferry co-pilot a little more settled in. And then we will resume from the top. Matter of fact, I think we can go ahead and start our reboarding. Do a 20-minute reboard. End of that will be while I'm on a little bit of an intermission. And then the other 10 will be while we're setting up for leg number 2 here. Actually, while we're... Okay, there we go. Like, why was the position so weird? While we are getting ready, let me get the flight plan filed at least, and that way the controllers can start looking at it. Decide whether they need to make any amendments to our route. Yeah, that's me. No, we want to just put a new one in. We're going to be Piedmont 5514 again. IFR, we're in a B462. Weight category is medium. S, BDFGRY with an L. Departure from KJAX. We're going to be off block at 0135. We can probably do... Yeah, we'll do 0135. We might end up a little bit early. That's fine. 280, 380. Arrival is going to be Key West. KR Regional Southwest Fort Myers is going to be our alternate. Hour 23, and then 232 left in the tanks. Correct? No. 335 left in the tanks. Because we got to count the additional 4,500 pounds that we're putting in now. Jetton to JJ to Sabi to Kraken 1. PBN is a B2, C2, D2, S2. Performance is a Charlie. We are a regional jet. I put that in there because people don't always readily understand what B462 is. And then, of course, we'll put the bitstream link. Okay. Nice view of the airport, so that you guys can see kind of some of the comings and goings while we are taking our break for a little liquid recycling. We'll be right back with leg number 2, and lots of flying left to do on the Slant Alpha channel. It's the Florida Night Ops event here on VAT USA. The Friday Night Ops being hosted by Jacksonville and Miami. Oh, we got our clearance already. And we'll take a peek at it when we get back. Talk to you in just a few, guys. Sit tight.
Jacksonville ground, good evening, Delta 2994, we have India ready to taxi.
Delta 2994, Jax ground, thanks for India, just watch it next time you push down to an active taxiway, runway 8, taxi line, Alpha Lima.
Hotel Alpha Lima, and sorry about that, PDC said call for taxi, so we'd push at our discretion.
Yeah, that was my bad, because I didn't realize you were going to spawn in at the corner there, but still just for future reference, if you push into an active taxiway, you need to call for push.
Alright, welcome back, friends. It is the That USA Friday Night Ops event. Today it's called Florida Night Ops event, hosted by Jacksonville and Miami ARTCs. That USA. Good number of their neighbors up and staffing out as well. And we are getting ready to do leg number 2. We're going to depart from Jacksonville, head down to Key West. It looks like it's already registered in our VATSIM radar. And yeah, got a good amount of traffic going to be around us, but not necessarily going to where we're going. I don't know, it looks like there might be are these guys coming into Key West? Orlando. Miami. Okay, so we might...
94, you can monitor the tower. Good night.
We might not have a whole lot of company at Key West. That's fine. We'll have some company in the airspace, and that'll make it exciting. But we won't get jammed up in delays with traffic, so that'll be fun as well. All right, well, let's go ahead and get that route. Well, first of all, let's verify that the route that we filed is indeed the route that we were cleared on. JustFlight So, US JustFlight okay, yeah, 280. 6544 is the squawk code, departure frequency 124.9. Expect 3,000, yes, yeah, 3,000 initially, then expect 28010. And, expect runway 14 for departure. Papa Charlie is here. How's it going? Alright, so we got all that information plugged into our spreadsheets and our flow lists. We are ready to go. Let us see what do we got left in the boarding. Yeah, we got about 10 minutes. That's good. That's about what I like to do in terms of aircraft setup. So we've fetched the ATIS or METAR. Yeah, we have, but let's just see if it's updated at all. Jack's information. India is still current 3016. It's the altimeter. I believe we've got that set, and yeah, the field elevation is about 30 feet, and that's pretty close to what we're showing on all three altimeters. So good to go there. Comm radios, let's, yeah, ground and then tower, and then departure 24-9er is already set, so we're good to go there. We're just basically going to back out in reverse. What we've already got going on. So, IFR clearance is obtained. Let's go ahead and get the route entered into our flight management system. So we'll go menu on both sides, and let's do delete of the flight plan, double click. Alright, we're going to go KJAX, enter, accept, and we are going to go on the menu, departures. We're departing on 14. It is the Jetton 2 to JJA. And we're going to put that into the flight plan. And then, by the way, do we have any idea? Can we take a guess? I don't think they've got, yeah, I don't think we've got an air traffic. Oh, we do have an ATIS at Key West. Or not. .060 at 11 gusting to 20. So it's going to be the eastbound runway. Is that downwind, Sim? Holy cow. Yeah, stranger danger indeed. Where have you been? JG Mathis has stopped in as well. Good to see you. Alright, so we're pretty sure now. .ATIS, Key West underscore ATIS didn't return anything. But VATSIM radar says there's an ATIS here. But it doesn't have any text associated with it. Okay, that's fine. We'll maybe try getting it by voice when we get a little closer. I am going to go ahead and take a stab and say we are more than likely going to be landing on the eastbound runway, which I think is 9 or 10. I think it's 9. So for here, we can just put in Key West, enter, and accept, and then everything else can come off of the arrivals menu. We're going to enter runway 9er. It is the Kraken arrival off of the point Sabi, I think it was, right? Wasn't it? Yeah, Sabi. And RNAV to runway 9. Enter. And if we are... Yeah, so I should have put all this in. KJAX to KEYW. I'm not going to put the whole route in, doesn't matter. This is just going to let us get to the charts at least. So the RNAV to runway 9 off of the Kraken 1. That's Jax. Put that there. So does the Kraken 1 dump off somewhere? Point Shack. Put you onto Chet's, and then is there a yeah, and there's an initial fix at Chet's, so that's the transition we want. Kind of figured it was set up that way. Put all that in the flight plan, and we'll page through and make sure that it's, yep, oh, we need to make sure that we're navigating. We're going to go to nav page, and what are we going to right now? That's second leg. Okay, so we go back to the flight plan. GG at 10. Is that on the Kraken? Well, let's get the we're getting all the charts up. Let's get the departure up in front of us as well. Jetting 2, so it's just going to be 137 as our initial top of 3,000, and then radar vectors to dirty, jetting at or above 10. Yeah, see on the departure that doesn't matter so much. That says expect. So that's why it's not in here. And at or below, like if you had to maintain something or below, it matters more because you have to make sure you don't climb past that. But for an at or above, you just have to make sure you got enough climb performance to get there. And we do. Alright, so after Kraken, oh wait a minute, we could say, as we come down this path here, oh, from Sabi, then it's Kraken, yeah, GG at 10 and 250. Okay. So all that's in there correctly. 114, Kenny Master? Yeah, you definitely beat me. I don't know what my number was, but it was definitely not a 114. Alright, have a good one, Kenny. Good to see you. Alright, anyway, so it looks all good there in terms of what's in the flight plan, so I'm going to go ahead and, yeah, we get the nav page there, and we'll just keep the menu page up over there for now. And then let's get our autopilot panel set up. We'll get flight directors on ×2. We'll make sure we're back into RNAV mode. The initial heading we said was going to be a 137, I think it was. Not necessarily runway heading, but in this case it is 137. There that is.
Telegraphy advice, Jacksonville, information, Julian Alfred, altimeter 3016.
3016 is what we got. 13, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. 3016 is what we've got, but we'll go ahead and check and see what other information updated. So we got flight directors on, heading mode, and the initials 3000, so we'll get that dialed in and armed. Okay. Let's go ahead and grab Juliet so we can grab, so we can say we've got that when we check in. Wind is now calm, 3016. Visual approaches to 8 and 14, departing 8 and 14. Okay. Squawk 6544. We can go ahead and get that dialed in. And not TA and RA, but just into transponder mode. Heading bug, autopilot, RNAV, flight directors on, and initial altitude. Okay, we are good. Okay, how close are we on the boarding? We are 30 seconds away from being fully boarded. Well, the timing worked out perfectly then. While we're waiting on that, I'm going to go ahead and get the pushback set up. And obviously, it's not going to start us moving yet. But we'll just push to right off of the gate here. And face that way. Okay, we'll request our pushback. Again, that doesn't start us moving, it just gets us connected. So they can wait for us for a moment. Should be any second now. Looks like about 12 more seconds. All right, tug driver's ready. Okay, there we go. And the doors getting closed as well. Let's verify that our parking brake is on and we've got brake pressure. We can now remove the chocks. We can get our oxygen systems back on. We can set the trim for takeoff. All we got to do is click the center of gravity. We'll notice the wheel changes, and it did slightly, so we're good there. We will run up top. We get the fasten seatbelt signs on. We'll get the cabin cruise pressure set. We're going to be at 28,000 again. Right there, 7,500 perceived cabin altitude. The ice detection switch can come on and get reguarded, and the engine anti-ice can come up for just the startup process. The thrust management system, 720 seemed to work pretty well for cruise. I'm going to bump it up 730 just for now. Let's get the temperature 16. Hours on, takeoff mode set. 91.5 is going to be our N1. We'll go ahead and bug a flaps 18 departure.
5885 Jacksonville, going to welcome taxi by Alpha Hotel to the ramp. Have a good night.
Alpha Hotel to the ramp, please.
Greetings from the flight deck and welcome aboard American Eagle Flight 5514 service to Key West. We are due to push back in about 17 minutes, but I think we're going to go ahead and get rolling early since you all are already in your seats and ready to go. We'll get underway. Wheels up time scheduled at quarter till the hour, but again, we probably will get airborne just a little bit early for you today. Flight time, once we're up, 1 hour, 23 minutes. We'll be cruising at 28,000 feet for you today. Weather here in Jacksonville is gorgeous. Surface winds are nice and calm. Mostly clear skies, nice high pressure day. Don't anticipate too much bumping around as we get airborne. And we'll hopefully find some nice smooth air up at 28,000 to cruise in. And then we'll give you an update on the weather situation in Key West once we are getting ready to start our descent. But sit back, relax, get those seatbelts fastened for us. And thanks again for flying with us on American Eagle Flight 5514 service to Key West. Beacon lights. Up top, the pack off. Fuel pumps can come on. Start master can come on. And we are pushing into a non-movement area, so we are good to go with that. We'll go ahead and release our parking brake, release our hold, start number 4, and we are underway. Yeah, pushing back 15 minutes early. 2.0. We'll go ahead and flip the throttle lever up out of cutoff.
This is Beechcraft 248 Fox Lima signature, looking for VFR departure to the north. Information, Juliet.
Beechcraft 248 Foxtrot Lima Jacksonville ground, roger, maintain VFR out of below 3,000, departure 124.9er. Too quick on that standby, 2 seconds to squawk.
Alright, red lights off on the number 4. I'm just trying to make sure that we're pushing into a non-movement area.
Foxtrot Lima, the squawk is 27012.
Actually not 100% certain that we are. If we are clear of Romeo, then I guess we're fine.
Maintain VFR out of below 3,000, departure.
Yeah, I feel like we're sitting right on Romeo.
2712, we are
Whoops.
ready for taxi.
Hey, Foxtrot Lima, roger, and squawk my trailer, please.
Alright, 2% in. Fuel coming in. Parking brake reset.
Hey, Foxtrot Lima, thank you. Runway 8, taxi Golf Alpha Lima.
Yeah, I guess I'm not sure. I think I'm clear of Romeo. I'm not sure. If I'm where I shouldn't be, I apologize. Alright, red lights out. We can go ahead and move to the number 2. Alright, so our initial heading to the point Dirty, which is our vector point, it's at 260. So once we come off of 1-4, it should be basically a westbound turn to get to that. Just in case he says proceed direct and we're not ready to go proceed direct, we can at least turn westbound and sort it out from there. Alright, and then our number 1, fourth and final. Alright, get the fuel in.
Ground on November 123 Gillette. Clear 1-4, I can go back and on the shelter.
Okay, red lights are all
November
off.
122 Juliet, Jacksonville ground. Roger, welcome. Taxi via November Papa Victor.
So selector can come off,
Juliet,
start master can come
Hotel
off.
Bravo, Golf 1 to shelter.
November Papa Victor Juliet.
Bends.
Hotel, Golf 1 to shelter. November 123 Juliet.
Anti-S can come off, screen and pro P can come on.
Juliet's so close. After hotels.
X can come on.
Yeah, after hotels, it's going to be Bravo to Golf 1.
After Hotel Bravo to Golf 142 Juliet.
The hydro pumps on, and then the AC and PTU. And again, they keep even if I was to shut these off now, we would still see hydraulic pressure in the system. That's what these do. They retain that pressure in case of a pump failure. All right, so that stuff done. We'll check our flight controls. We got gauges for the ailerons or spoilerons, really. But all the rest of these, we would just verify visually that they are operable. We can set flaps 18. We can get the master warning knob off. Parking brake off. That gets our last warning. And as soon as we are set to flaps 18, we'll do a config check. And we are good to go. We do verify we have brake pressure. So we are good. Expecting to head out Romeo, which is to our left, or Papa, which is ahead to our left, get to 1-4. Alright, there's flaps 18 set. We'll do a config check. You're good. Minimum departure fuel 50. And we got slightly less than 25 in the side tanks. But we've got the 20 in the middle tank as well, so we're good. We've got about 60. Okay. We're ready to rock and roll. Jacksonville ground, Piedmont 5514's off of the lower end of Charlie. We got information Kilo. We are Juliet, and we're ready to rock and roll.
Piedmont 5414, Jacksonville ground, runway 14, taxi via Romeo Papa, November Lima.
Romeo Papa, November Lima, Piedmont 5514.
And 5514, just confirm runway 14.
Yep, taxiing the runway 14, Romeo Papa, November Lima, Piedmont 5514. I thought I said that, but I probably didn't.
Delta
I'm going to take him in his word. If he asked me to confirm the runway, I probably did not say the runway. Right, we'll make a left onto Papa. That should be about a 300 heading if we're on the what we think we are. Yep, okay, looking good. Go and get taxi lights on for now, even though it's broad daylight. The taxi lights are a courtesy. Other planes know that you're moving. If you turn off your taxi lights, then they know that you're yielding to them or holding position or what have you. Arrival on runway 8 there. Alright, since we are away from the terminal now, we'll go ahead and get our weather radar back on. And then when we get turned here, what I'll do is I'll get the TA and RA set. Continuous ignition set. Little scenery bumps there. Oh boy, big scenery bumps there. Okay, nobody coming. Nobody coming.
Jacksonville ground, good evening, Postman 204, vacated runway 8 at Golf.
Postman 204, heavy, Jacksonville ground, welcome, say parking.
We'd like to go over to ramp 3 just off of Sierra.
Postman 204, heavy, roger, you can taxi by Alpha Kilo November Sierra to the ramp, have a good day.
Alright, so just get ahead of the game. We'll go ahead and get into TA and RA mode on the transponder. Go ahead and get continuous ignition on. Looks like we're going to be first in line there, so we'll go ahead and get our cabin crew alerted.
Piedmont 5514, you can so you can monitor the tower 118.3, have a good night.
Alright, we'll monitor 18.3, Piedmont 5514. We'll see you. Thanks.
Cabin is secure.
Go! We got the rate coming in from 757 Spy. Hey, Spy. Hey, Dave. How are you? Hope that y'all had a good one tonight. We're getting ready to leave Jacksonville. It's the Friday night ops, the Florida night ops, I should say. And we're getting ready to leave Jacksonville, Florida. We opted for one of the less crazy airports in Florida tonight, and then we're going to head down to Key West. A little fall vacation down to Key West. Hope that y'all had a good one, and thank you very kindly for the continued support of the channel, man.
5514 Jack, runway 14, line up and wait.
Line up and wait, runway 14 Jacks, Piedmont 5514. I keep saying Jacksonville in response to them. Got an arrival coming in on runway 8. Since we are on the runway surface, we will get our strobe lights on.
Final wind calm, runway 8, could land.
And then when we get takeoff clearance, we get our forward-facing lights on as well.
Piedmont 5514, wind calm, flight runway heading, runway 14, clear for takeoff.
Runway heading, clear for takeoff, 14, Piedmont 5514. Alright, landing and turn off lights on. Strobes are already on. No warnings. Engines responding normally, vibrations within normal limits. Let's go ahead and get takeoff power set. We're the BAe-146 here.
Speed alive, both sides. Power set, N1G. 80 knots cross-checked.
Yep.
Postman 66, kind of got point 9.
Round point 9 or both sides set.
Overcorrected on the rudder just a little bit.
V1. Rotate.
We are rotating.
V2.
Okay, we'll pitch to the bubble.
Positive rate of climb, gear on.
Gears coming up. Pitch to maintain that bubble speed there. We'll do that to 1,000. You can read this for our... the departure of Piedmont 5514. We'll see. Let's keep runway heading. Jacksonville departure Piedmont 5514. 800 going to 3,000.
Piedmont 5514, Jacksonville departure, welcome back. Radar contact, proceed to correct jet. Maintain 15,000.
15,000 direct jet, Piedmont 5514. And we know that's going to be to the west, so I'm going to start a turn. All right, we're through 1,000 now. We can switch over to the max continuous thrust. We're going to pitch down and build the speed up. I don't know exactly what heading I'm going to be at yet. I'm going to kind of just put the heading bug there. And departure Piedmont 5514. I'm sorry, did you give us an altitude or was it still 3?
Piedmont 5514, I might not have climate maintain 15,000.
Okay, I think maybe you did now that you say that. 15,000, sorry. Piedmont 5514.
VFTO, safe line speed, select flaps.
Okay, let's get the vertical speed, autopilot on, flaps in. And let's get directed to jet. Continuous ignition can be turned off. I'll do a couple of other post takeoff things in just a moment. I just want to make sure I'm pointed in the right direction, so I'm going to redirect myself. Oh, I said I would explain that after the first one. By the way, thanks to everyone who came over from the Spy Raid. Nudist77 said hi there. Let's redirect ourselves to Jetton. So you guys kind of popped in at a very labor-intensive moment, so I apologize I didn't say proper hellos. But I'll explain to you why I redirect myself in the middle of that turn there. Oh. Now let's pitch up and recapture 250 knots here.
Jacksonville Challenge 700, so it's 3,000 on 30.
Challenger 609er, Hotel X-ray, Jacksonville departure.
As soon as that speed comes back down to 250, and we're slowing down by pitching up. We're not changing throttles there. But we're slowing down by pitching up. And as soon as that speed gets back to 250, we'll just have the plane start managing that pitch for us. There we go. Alright, so now that we're airborne, a couple of things we can do. We always keep the APU on for takeoff and arrival in this aircraft because the 4 engines are so underpowered that you want the pack, the APU providing the power to the packs, so that you have every ounce of bleed air going to the engines and not diverting any of it. But now that we're in a safe climb, we can go ahead and get the packs powered by the engine, shut off the APU air. We can shut off the APU. We can also come up here and turn off those backup hydraulic systems and just run off the main pumps now. So we're all good. Let's just run through. I think I did get the continuous ignition off. Let's make sure I got all the lights on that are supposed to be on. Yeah, we're good here. All right, let's see if I can kind of talk through why I always end up redirecting myself after it happens. So you're cruising along, you're going this way. All of a sudden, you get a direct to that point. This very primitive FMS suddenly creates this line here. So the instant it creates this line, you've already overshot it.
5514, contact center 133.32.
I'm sorry, 3232 was it?
3332.
3332, Piedmont 5514, we'll see it. Well, I'll come back to that diagram in just a moment. 3332. Okay, we are through 10,000. I'm going to get the landing lights off, the turn-off lights off.
At or above 2,000, cleared RNAV runway.
And I think we did everything else already. We did all the engine stuff and hydraulic stuff. Let's just do a cabin pressure check. We're climbing at a normal rate in terms of the cabin altitude. Cabin altitude 4,000 and climbing, so that's within normal specs. We're going to settle in at 75, and then differential pressure is about a third of the way up to its range. So everything is pressure-wise is happening normally. Jacksonville Center Piedmont 5514 is 1,900 going to 15,000.
Piedmont 5514, Jack Center climb and maintain flight level 230 for now. I'll work on higher.
Okay, 230 for now for Piedmont 5514. Alright. So the instant the plane figures out you want a direct to that's way off to your right, it overshoots that turn. The instant that it creates it. So what if you leave it alone, what it's then going to do is come back to that line. Right? But that's not what you need to do, really. So when I get about to this point, I go ahead and redirect myself to that point, and then it creates this second line from my present position. Okay? A modern FMC does this as part of its direct to. It already figures in your turn performance, and it figures in where that line should go.
5514, climb and maintain flight level 260. That'll be your final.
All right, 260 as our new final. Piedmont 5514, thanks. Changes our pressurization plan just slightly. So new target cabin altitude is going to be about 6,500. So we're not quite there. We're still climbing at a normal rate. Everything's good. Anyway, so you know, a modern FMC that you have in your NG 737, your 737 Max, your NG Airbuses, they're going to factor in that turn performance already. This primitive FMC, it just instantly creates that right angle turn, and then obviously you overshoot it the instant you create it. So instead of weaving back to it, I'd really just smooth out the turn by doing a new direct to halfway through the turn or most of the way through the turn.
Contact Miami,
that kind of achieves the same thing.
28.22.
All right, we're coming up on 18,000 now. We're not quite there yet, but close enough. I'm going to go ahead and set these all to standard pressure. 2992 on the captain side, 2992 on the standby altimeter, the backup. 2992 over here on the first officer's side. So at this instant, we are now no longer at something thousand, something hundred. We are now at flight level something, something, something. That transition coincides with when you go from local to standard. If you're at a local pressure, you're not at flight level anything. You're at an altitude in terms of thousands and hundreds. If you're at standard pressure, then you're at flight level, whatever the first three digits are. In the U.S., that always happens at 18,000. Elsewhere, it can happen at all kinds of different transition altitudes, transition levels. Yeah, Downwind Sim says, I got to run. Nice to watch for. But yeah, good to hear from you, sir. I know that you've been Mr. Jet Set lately. Hope all's been well with you, man. Say hi to Annie for me. All right, officially now passing 18, we'll do a official cabin pressure check, okay? It's now sitting pretty at 65, and the differential pressure is about 2/3 of the way up, and then the differential will hit the red mark by the time we get up to our cruise. We'll make one final check just to make sure that's the case. Go ahead and put the route in here. We never really did put the route in here. So we can kind of see what the plan looks like.
American 3229 Jack Center running. American 2241 contact Jacksonville Center 128.22.
128.22 American 2241.
Orlando's not quite the Charlie Foxtrot I expected it to be. How's Miami faring? Yeah. That's not unexpected. Jacksonville was nice and leisurely. I think we made a good choice there. Great controllers, give them some nice work. I'll tell you what, the guy, the approach guy taking me up on my offer to do the visual was fun. And I was like, okay, I'm going to overshoot slightly on purpose to make sure I come in behind that guy coming into runway 8. And he's like, nah, I trust you. You're fine. That was fun. Yeah, we were assigned the ILS to runway 8. And we were on the downwind. And, very high midfield downwind, basically. And I said, approach, hey, I don't know how bold you're feeling, but I got the field in sight. He was like, I'm going to leave you on the ILS. And about 10 seconds later, he's like, you know what? Clear visual approach runway 14. Oh, okay. got turned in toward a base to runway 14, and then we saw that there was a traffic that was coming into runway 8, was basically crossing our path right to left. And I'm like, okay. Can't quite judge his speed versus mine. I feel like we're pretty close in, coming in hot. So I'm going to hit the brakes here. B, I'm going to kind of zigzag and come back around to that final approach course on purpose, just to allow a couple extra track miles and get him down. Turns out I overdid it. He was in well before us. It wasn't even really close call. But it was fun. It was fun to kind of be able to, manage that, communicate with control, let him know that we saw the traffic, let him know that we were adjusting. Whatever he was seeing on his end, he didn't seem too fazed by it. So I think it was probably not as much of a potential conflict as I even thought it was, I would guess. But end of the day, it was all good.
Jack Center, 1 approaches out of Mexico, 435, 13,000, climbing to 16,000. Mexico, 435, Jacksonville Center, climb and maintain flight level 260.
3,000 to go. I'm going to go ahead and pop the seatbelt signs off now.
Flight level 260 to Mexico, 435. Yeah, 1150 contact Jacksonville, Christian Miami Center, 128.22.
Didn't hear anybody read that doc. I'm going to make sure it wasn't for me.
Travis 927, leaving 17,000, clear direct, Jeffries.
Leaving 17,000, direct Jeffries, southwest.
Could it possibly have been for me? Yeah, we're still.
I'll give you a fire, 927, leaving 17,000.
Yeah, we're still well within Jacksonville.
Alright, Jeffries, southwest 927 after 17.
1
Greetings from the flight deck with an update. We have turned off the fasten seatbelt signs, and the cabin crew is going to come around a fine selection of Red Bull products and some key lime downwind sin pies. Just about up to our cruise altitude. We'll go ahead and turn the fasten seatbelt signs early because it seems like we're in a nice stable air. Sit back, relax, and enjoy, and we'll give you an update on the weather situation in Key West once we get close to starting our descent. In the meantime, do enjoy flying with us today on American Eagle Flight 5514 service to Key West.
Arrival, Orlando landing north, Orlando, October 3012.
3012 to descend right to bring 5 landing north, Rock 3127.
A little bit of Hawkeye. I got tangled up in that announcement. I had to kind of, I painted myself into a corner, had to paint myself back out of it. But yeah, it worked out okay.
Yeah, I think I had, but I wasn't 100% certain. Yeah, confirm, you get it. Let me know if you need to cross any runway. Yeah, let me know if you need to cross any runway.
The American BAe-146 in American colors. I don't even, I don't think anyone's flying this in this setup today. I don't know if it was historically accurate or not, but today we are Piedmont Regional Airline Operation, flying the BAe-146 in American colors. Why? Because we can.
Warrior 32, I'm getting out of the Discord channel where a bunch of people were talking to my ear. Go ahead, take it.
So RNAV to runway 9er. So we don't need the Jacksonville Airport diagram anymore. It looks like the Jettons. Yeah, we're
departure from present position will be at your own risk. Report airborne.
Maybe down the Kraken. We know that GG's 250 knots. Okay, we'll need to make sure we do that. And then our plan is Chet's, and then the RNAV to runway 9er from Chet's. The only other thing we need then is the airport diagram. We kind of, I mean, Key West is pretty freaking simple airport. They got one parallel taxiway off to the right, and then the terminal's kind of down here all the way at the end. So not much to it. Just about clicking over to altitude capture. We should watch that happen here. Alarm light should go off. Yeah, indicated altitude capture comes on. The aircraft is going to start picking up some speed. We're going to rebug it to about Mach 7.1 here. And all that does, it does nothing in terms of the autopilot. All it does is determine where the bubble sensors on your primary attitude indicator. But when the bubble does center, when the speed comes up from our climb speed to our cruise speed, we'll knock it down from our climb power to our cruise power, and then we'll manually adjust the temperature that we're outputting. It's not an auto throttle, but it does automatically maintain a certain power output. And then we can just adjust that power output once we see what's happening with the speed.
Air Mexico 435, climb maintain level 320, contact Miami Center 128.22.
Climb maintain level 320.
Speed's still creeping up kind of slowly. I'm going to, just because I feel like, you know, as further south we go, the hotter the temperature is, that less dense the air is. We might need to use a little bit of a higher thrust setting at cruise to maintain this speed. Plus we're getting way more in terms of true airspeed. No, I won't say that. We're getting way more in terms of speed over the ground, so we might have a headwind. Tailwind, rather. Yeesh. Have another drink. Cheers, friends. By the way, I do know that this will be the third stream that I owe you in our YouTube archive. We had the 2-hopper in the DC-6. That was into Denver, into and out of Denver for last week's Friday Night Ops event. Okay, we can go ahead and pop it into cruise power now. Do we need to lower the sticks? No, we can keep the sticks right where they're at. And let's see what happens with the ground speed. Still creeping up slightly. Knock it down to 740 and we'll see what happens there. So we had the DC-6 that we did into and out of Denver for last week's Friday Night Ops, and then on Tuesday, oh, it's still creeping up. Let's knock it down another 20. 720 in the books. Center of the bubble, just to have the bubble centered. I mean, but we're really just seeing what's this trending? Is it trending higher, trending lower, or is it stabilizing? We'll see.
549, you've got traffic here at 12 o'clock in 3.5 miles off the direct.
Anyway, so a week ago we had the DC-6 we did into and out of Denver for Denver's Friday Night Ops event. That was a fun one. Worked out pretty well for us being, you know, half the speed of everybody else. Had to kind of manhandle those engines in ways that they weren't designed to be manhandled.
Okay, 2215 traffic, 12 o'clock and 42 miles out.
So I don't know how realistic it was, but worked out okay in terms of participating with the event and a busy night. Then this past Tuesday we had River Run, second to last River Run stream of the 4th season. We've got one more of those to finish out our trek down the Rio Grande.
Level 260 contact, Miami, correction, Jacksonville Center, 12.07, good.
So it seems like it's 720. Our ground speed's stable at 450, and our bubble's kind of staying centered. So I guess I'll leave it there. We already did the passenger announcement, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, so we got the Denver FNO and the DC-6 last week. We had this past Tuesday. We had the River Run stream and the Piper Comanche, and of course then we got tonight here the BAe-146. Wikipedia says on, according to Papa Charlie, June 29th, 94, a 146-100 overran the runway, suffered damages trying to land at Islay Airport in the Inner Hebrides. No idea where that is. Then Prince Charles was at the controls, but was not blamed because despite it being a licensed pilot, he was a passenger who was invited to fly the aircraft. And then he forewent flying rural flights thereafter. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Don't do that anymore. You're obviously not good at it.
Aircraft Delta 1214, Jack Center, sorry for the delay on the response. Vicinity of the Bridge 5 arrival, landing north, Orlando, October 3012.
That's crazy. Of course, the 100 is slightly smaller than this. Is a 200 series. Very slightly different. I think slightly different passenger capacity, slightly different fuel capacity. I don't know how different the performance is, but obviously very, very similar aircraft. They got no brakes? Yeah, apparently. After that incident.
Contact Miami Center 128.22.
2822, Piedmont 5514, we'll see you. After that incident, they were like, you know what, we need in the 200 series. Brakes. I think he was at 128.22. Repeat my 5514. I'm sorry, was it 28.22?
Permanent 128.22.
Got it, thanks.
to flight level 400 for 10,005.
Miami Center, Piedmont 5514, flight level 260. Yes, no, maybe so. No, we're not saying hi to me today. I'll try it again in a minute. I think I did hear somebody talking on this channel, so I think it is an active frequency. 8.
Piedmont 55.
Oh, there we go.
14. Roger.
Roger.
Piedmont 5514, you're not able higher, correct?
I can do 280, but that'd be about it.
Okay, I can help. Okay, thanks. Lufthansa 625, resume published speed, descend via the Prague for arrival lobby landing east altimeter 3002.
Advise the
Why did he ask us that?
Don't lower your speed, just fly with the published speeds on the arrival.
It will follow the published speeds.
He asked us that, I presume, because
Pilot Club 2025 from sequence 6 Miami, turn right, heading 190.
we are going to get tangled up in traffic for Fort Myers, or for Miami, or for both. All this traffic coming from the west is probably descending right through where we are to go east. And so he's going to end up having to vector us around, or vector them around, and then rejoin their arrivals or what have you. Or he'll have to put us down lower earlier than we want to be. That's my guess. I mean, I'm just trying to anticipate what caused him to ask us that question about being higher. If we were at a normal flight level, then all these guys descending into Fort Myers, descending into Miami would be below us, because we'd be at cruise and they'd be descending. However, because we cruise so much lower than these guys, the altitudes that they're descending through on their descent are coming right through our cruise altitude. That is what I would guess is the issue and what caused him to ask us that. Don't know the airspace, don't know how the departure and arrival paths intersect with these cruising airways, but that would be my guess.
Yeah, 1150, contact line.
Certainly seems pertinent to him. Now, on the arrival, we did say, and on the first page, there's nothing in terms of altitude restrictions. On the second page, we've got GG at 10,000. Let's go ahead and get our vertical navigation set up. There's really not too much. It's a pretty primitive VNav system. We can get our nav box over there. We'll get our VNav box over here. We do want to target vertical speed of 2,000, and it's basically saying that if we were going to hit GG at 10 now, we would need to descend 600 feet a minute. If we go 126 miles straight at the current flight level, then we would need to descend at 2,000 to hit this. Okay, because this 650 is going to, the closer we get in, I'll diagram this for you. One of my rudimentary chalk talks.
Miami Center, buenas noches. 435 with you.
So here we are now, okay?
Mexico 435, Miami Center, would you like a shortcut? Yes, please.
And here's TOD.
435 Center, Snowman.
And here's our crossing restriction.
Clear to the Snowman, direct, Mexico 435, thank you.
Starts with a G, I forget what the name of the point was. Okay. It's basically saying if we want to descend now to get to that point, It'd be 650 feet per minute. Hold on, where's my mouse?
Southwest 523 is here's your extremely high on the arrival. Turn.
Our top of descent is another 120 something miles away.
Yeah, we can pick up the Southwest 523.
Once we go 120 at our current altitude,
Right, heading 180, just going to maintain.
now it's going to take
And just going to maintain
2,000 feet a minute.
Right, 180, 15, 15,000.
So that's why the closer we get in,
Right, heading 180 down to 15,000, Southwest 593.
the steeper a descent we would have to make in order to get this crossing restriction at 10,000. So you'll see this slow, gradual increase from the current descent rate needed to the target descent rate needed. At the moment that this hits 2,000 to get there, that's going to coincide with our calculated top of descent point. So it's a pretty primitive box, but it's very effective in what it does. All it's doing, it's doing a little trig for us is all it's doing. If we descent right now, we'd need to do 700 feet per minute. If we wait 110 miles, that's when we'll be at that point where we need to descend 2,000 feet a minute to do it.
And Center Pilot Club 2025 is mid-fuel.
Oh, well, that's your poor planning.
Pilot Club 2025, Roger. Do you want it first in Fort Myers? I don't think you're really going to have that extensive delays on the arrival. Just let me know.
I would say about 15 more minutes of delays and we're going to be Mayday fuel, Pilot Club 2025, but if we're on course soon, we'll be fine.
Yeah, Pilot Club 2025, clear and cleat.
The drama unfolds. Will he make it?
Pilot Club 2025, resume published speed, descend via the Frog for arrival.
Good news for you, Pilot Club 2025. Florida is very flat. You can land almost anywhere. Not to mention, they have about 14,000 airports in Florida, so you should be fine. You'll find some place to land. Open your window and throw your pilot operating handbook out of it. There's 50-50 chance it lands on a runway.
Descend speed front, Southwest 2029.
JustFlight Delta 2 Jack Center 133.32, get it?
Well, now I'm riveted, guys. Now I'm invested. I want to know how it ends.
Southwest 523, turn left heading 060, clear direct cross.
060, direct cross, Southwest 523. Sorry about that.
No worries. Southwest 523, once your direct cross, descend via the Frog for Miami landing east.
Once direct frog, descend via the frog's arrival.
What was it, 2025?
Miami Center, Delta 7 Jacksonville, we're with you, 50350.
Delta 7921, line center, roger.
Oh, he's way out there. He's way out there. He's trying to go to Miami? Oh, that is going to be... That is going to be interesting. Okay, let's watch that. What do we got to TOD? 90 miles still. We got a little ways. It wouldn't hurt though. Let's go ahead and start checking to see what we've got in terms of
Miami Center, American 1421, with you.
Okay, so there's no text ATIS there. Text ATIS is not working at Key West. Let's see if we can pick it up by voice. 1967.
American 1421, line center, roger.
119,675, right?
Delta 4451, descend via the Frog for arrival, landing east, altimeter 3003.
Yeah, so 119, here it is. 119,675. 119,675, I do have it set to receive, but we are not receiving anything on it yet. It might just be too far away. It's still a little ways away.
Delta 7921, descend, maintain.
We'll try it again when we're
79
close.
until south of descent, then descend via the Frog for arrival.
Okay, they do have him turned in toward Miami now, so this is looking a little bit more promising for him.
Top of the set, this is by the Frog for arrival. Delta 79.
American 1421 Aggie, descending, say attention.
Well, we're leveling back out at 370. My sim is just giving me a pill tonight. Sorry about that.
American 1421, no worries. Maintain Mach point 76.
Maintain Mach 0.76 for 1421.
Level 523, contact Miami approach 120.5.
Alright, just as a backup, let's retrieve METAR there. Just so we can at least intelligently tell our passengers what we're dealing with in terms of weather situation. So no clouds. However,
Southwest 1729.
very gusty winds.
Turn right.
27 is
180. Maintain
what about
flight level
80 degrees or so?
180,
Oh, 80s.
Southwest 1729.
Alex 2025, maintain Mach point 72 into the descent if you're able to get down that. Alex 2025, reduce speed to Mach point 72. Alex 2025, my center, reduce speed to Mach point 72.
2025, hey, stop looking at your fuel gauge and answer your radio.
Pilot Club 2025, my center.
Pilot Club 2025, go ahead.
Pilot Club 2025, reduce speed to Mach point 72.
Reduce Mach point 72, Pilot Club 2025.
Delta 749, contact Tampa first, 119.9er.
99 for Delta 749.
Someone else checked in? American 1421, maintain Mach point 79er.
Maintain Mach 79 for 1421.
Lufthansa 625, contact Miami first, 120.5. Miami approach 120.5, Delta 25, heavy danger. Azul 109, my center, maintain Mach point 79.
Alright, what's our approximate distance to top of descent? 53 miles. A little early yet.
Just 2011, my center, maintain 13,000, turn right heading 180.
I maintain 13,000, right, 180,
Southwest 1729, clear direct cleat, descend via the Frog 4.
Direct cleat, Frog 4, Southwest 1729.
Let's try the ATIS again. Nothing. 1967, nothing. Receiving it via text. Still nothing. Hang on 1 second, guys.
The 583, my center, maintain Mach point 7F.
Trying to get the camera off and mic muted in time for that sneeze. I don't think I did it. I apologize for sneezing in your all's ears.
Contact Miami first.
Hopefully you all don't catch a computer virus.
120.5, American 2241, so on.
Detector 2811, turn right 870.
I said, I hope you all don't catch a computer virus.
Resume published speed, Southwest 2025.
Did I make it? He sounds worried. When he reads these instructions back, he sounds preoccupied, doesn't he? And I'm not trying to pick on the guy. He sounds like he's very good. He's very competent. He
2025, contact Miami approach 120.5. Good day.
understands his plane.
2025, good evening, Southwest 2025.
Yeah.
You know, good on the radios, except that he wasn't listening that one time. I think he was just probably doing frantic fuel calculations, so you can kind of excuse him for it. Unfortunately, he's leaving our frequency now. We won't be able to hear how the drama ends, but we'll kind of monitor him on VATSIM radar at least. But yeah, just, you know, and Friday night ops events are like that on VATSIM. The traffic is so overloaded that sometimes, you know, if you don't, if you're not very experienced in FNOs and you don't bring that extra 30 to 60 minutes of fuel, you know, you can find yourself in exactly that pilot situation. And you know, and the answer is exactly what he said. We'll do our best to get in, and if we end up having to divert, we'll divert. You know, he wasn't trying to dictate to the controller, this is what you must do for me. Out to 240, Piedmont 5514.
Circuit 1386, Miami Center, good evening. Detector 2811, we'll try this. Probably won't work, but we'll try it. Clear direct cross.
Clear direct cross, Detector 21.
Southwest 1729, contact Miami approach 120.5, good day.
And just a gentle reduction in throttle to get us very slightly descending. We'll go ahead and get our pressurization reset.
Zulu 109, just send me the prox for arrival, Miami landing east, altimeter 3003.
One more time for Zulu 109.
Zulu 109, just send me the prox for arrival, Miami landing east. Zulu 109, just send me the prox for arrival, Miami landing east.
So in order to make the crossing restriction, we need to be descending at about 1,500 feet per minute, so we'll go ahead and do that.
72 is the descent.
72 to descent, 7921.
Of course, we only cleared down 2,000 feet from where we were, so let's not get too crazy with it.
Echo Victor, Echo 814, my center, stay flight level. Echo Victor, Echo 814, stay flight level. Echo 2811, maintain your best for.
Okay, still nothing on the ATIS. Let's just update the METAR.
Echo 2811, how's the speed fine?
Okay, one
Mid-80s, is that what we said?
Piedmont 5514, contact my center 133.85, good day.
3385, Piedmont 5514, we'll see you.
Yeah. Air Canada 095, contact Houston Center 132.7.
Southwest 88.
Houston Expo just at 72, short of 9 ready to go.
So just 772, runway 9, request to take off, wind 050 at 11, go.
Okay, we're about to level at 240. I'm going to put it back to our cruise power here.
578, verify your stands or altimeter. I'm showing you level 246.
Hey, firm, putting it back to standard. This plane gives me trouble.
Alright, Pilot Club 2025 still tracking in toward the airport. Miami Center, Piedmont 5514, flight level 240.
Piedmont 5514, Miami Center, I'll have lower 10 miles.
Thank you. We can work with that. Yeah, that'll be right when we need it. Or want it. We don't even need it. We can descend more promptly if we need to.
You get that with Miami approach. I'm waiting for the handoff.
Greetings from the flight deck, and we've got an update for you as we have turned on the fasten seatbelt signs and asked you to return to your seats and fasten your seatbelts. The cabin crew is going to come around one final time to collect trash and take care of any last-minute needs. We have started our descent into Key West. The weather there is showing with very gusty winds, but clear skies and mid-80s for the temperatures. We expect to be on the ground there in about 25 minutes. Thanks again for flying with us on American Eagle Flight 5514, service to Key West. Going to put it into sync.
Miami Center, Expo 72, we're airbound, Derek Moody, passenger 2,500.
Up the throttles just a little bit.
So Jet 722, you're at a contact, climb, maintain for level 19er, correction, climb, maintain for level 210.
Up to level 210, so Jet 772.
Piedmont 5514, descend via the Kraken 1 arrival, runway 9er, transition, the Key West altimeter 2999.
Alright, 2999, descending via the Kraken 1 for runway 9er, Piedmont 5514.
Miami Center, good evening, Tampa 4018, heavy with you, flight level 390.
Tampa 4018, Miami Center, squawk 5152.
Alright, well, we're actually cleared down to 3,000. The lowest published altitude on this transition is 3,000. I'll show you that in just a moment.
Contact Fort Myers approach 134.42.
Alright. So we need to be descending at 2350 feet per minute in order to make that GG at 10.
Southwest 88, climb, maintain for level 340.
Up to 340, Southwest 88.
We're going to descend it.
18, you're in a contact 20 miles west of the Canoa intersection.
280 knots, so I'm going to pitch down just a little bit, and then we'll recapture.
Descend via device to arrival, except maintain 300 knots or greater.
We're at 270 now.
3003.
So let's ignore the bubble and just pitch down until the airspeed's reading 280. There we go.
Debra 1220, descend via device to arrival, except maintain 310 knots, 310. The Miami altimeter 3003.
Alright, 2300 in order to get down to where we need to be, and we're descending at about 25, so we are good. Yeah, we're catching up slightly, no problem.
Arrival, except maintain 270 knots, 270. Miami altimeter 3003.
Let's try the ATIS one more time. Still not receiving anything. All right, well, that's okay. We know we're expecting an approach to runway 9. We've already got that programmed in. We got the weather situation, so that's all we really need to know is what runway we're landing. We've got that already, so we're good.
2999, Miami landing east, Tampa 4018. Heavy.
Altimeter.
We don't do heavy in center lane, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh,
299. Alright, so we're coming through 18. We got the standard pressure set, local pressure set rather.
Southwest 88, contact Miami Center 128.22, 2822, good day.
Descending a little too quickly. We'll add just a little bit of throttle back in to slower descent rate.
See, you gotta learn to read the room. Like like that last one was like way too much. Adam Eagle 7512, we're still here. Miami approach 120.5.
Anyway, so what I was saying was GG at 10, but then we do have a published altitude at or above 3,000 at Chet, so we're clear down to 3 as long as we make GG at 10 on the way, which is what our box is guiding us to do right now. Oh, Pilot Club got diverted way down to the south here. Hopefully hopefully he'll make it in. Alright, what do we need? We need 1850. We're still descending at like 22. I'm going to add just a little throttle back in. Remember, when we get down to GG, we're going to slow it to 250 anyway. So bug 250 just in anticipation of that.
American 317, descend maintain flow level 180, turn right heading 360, vector for sequence.
Down to 180 and right 360.
Okay, now we're descending at 15. We need to be at 19, so I'm going to pull some throttle back out. The more power you pull out, the more the plane has to pitch down in order to keep the speed.
Automatic correction. Expect jet 528, resume published speed at Vice.
Resume published speed at Vice, bring jet 528.
As we're coming up on 10, we're going to go ahead and get the APU back on. Get the plane set up for our approach.
So jet 772, maintain flow level 190.
190, so jet 772.
Oh, you went past it, never mind. So I maintain flow level 210 and I'll get you back down.
Gotcha, 210, 772.
Tampa 4018, clear direct standbar.
Okay, going to be descending right around 2,000, and we are descending right around 2,000. Alright, is APU back up? Okay, yeah, we want to get the APU air on. Engine air off. And let's go ahead and get our hydraulic cross feeds up and running. Alright, should be descending at 1850 in order to make the crossing restriction. We're descending a little quicker. Just a tiny little bit of throttle back in. I said a tiny little bit. Jeez.
Jet 772, descend via the sandbar 3, arrival, landing east, the altimeter 3003.
Jet sandbar 3, altimeter, landing east, altimeter 3003, jet 772.
Yeah, I don't want to drive myself too nuts here chasing it.
Left turn direct Vice.
Closer you get to it, the more volatile that's going to be. Just the same as when you cross a VOR. The closer you get to it, the more violently that needle swings. Well, the same thing happens in a vertical sense. The closer you get to this crossing restriction,
Jet 528, Miami approach now 20.5.
the more that target descent rate is going to change. If you're not exactly on it. At some point, you got to just not chase it and just be like, all right, you know, we're going to cross it 100 feet high, 100 feet low. That's fine. We'll accept that.
Delta 135, 16,000.
What's the call sign?
Delta 135.
All right.
Wrong center.
Mile and a half from GDNS, so we're gonna pass it a little bit high. We're a mile away from it. We're gonna pass it at 10.3 rather than 10.
American 317, descend via the Vice 2.
We're gonna be okay. It'll click over to the next one. Okay, it wants us at 1550 in order to get to Chet's by 3. Now we can slow the descent. Oh, but you know what we need to do? We need to slow. We need to slow to 250 knots.
120.5, good day.
Go ahead and get our
1205, Jacksonville.
landing and turn off lights on, by the way, since we're below 10.
American 317, contact Miami approach 120.5, good day.
120.5, good day.
Alright, as the speed comes back down to 250. And then it needs to be 210 by the time we're at Chet's. Alright, speed's still coming down.
So Jet 772, contact
Okay,
Miami
so
approach
now
0.5, good day.
1750 is what we need in order to get Chet's 3. Now we'll go ahead and pull the throttles out a little bit.
Mont 5514, cross Chet at or above 3000. At Chet, clear the RNAV, runway 9 approach.
Alright, Chet's at about 3,000, clear for the RNAV 9er approach to Key West, Chet, Piedmont 5514. .580, I think we're going to go with our minimum descent, so I'm going to set the alerter to 750 just to be on the safe side. No visibility issues, I expect that's going to be fine. Yeah, Ivan, so we've got the UNS-1. It's a very rudimentary flight management system, so it's not nearly as capable as like a, modern, what is it, Honeywell Collins or whatever's in that Airbus or a 73NG. And it doesn't have an auto throttle either. That's why we're doing all this manual, this semi-manual speed management. Pin, buddy.
Starship 74 Tango Delta, Miami Center, hello, the Miami altimeter 3003.
003, thank you. Starship
APU, PTU, AC, APU, and landing. Okay, yep, we got all that done. So we got ignition, TMS, and we already got the turn off lights. So ignition and TMS are the two things we need to do. Alright, to get down to Chet's by 3, we need to be descending a little bit more rapidly here. So let's get some throttle out. Alright guys, going to get a little bit busy in here. Of course, right at the moment that the furry co-pilot gets needy. We'll get a little busy in here, but you guys can start putting some predictions into the chat as far as the vertical descent rate at the moment the wheels touch runway surface. No bot command necessary for that, just a number into the chat, positive or negative. We will know that you mean a descent rate either way. And the closest predictor gets an automatic entry into our bi-monthly landing rate raffle. Alright, we need to, we're at or above 3,000, so we're fine.
Set of 30-weight ball bearings. Hell, you need ball bearings.
At or above 3,000, so we're legal to be at 6,000, although we do need to slow down as well. So we're going to get some spoilers in. We're going to get slowed down to 210. And pretty much our runway is going to be over there. No vertical speed selector? No, there's not a selector. You can capture a vertical speed that you're currently at, but there's not a selector for the vertical speed. Alright, so we're at the airspeed that we want. Speed's drifting back up now. Go ahead and bug our flaps 30 speed. Okay, we are after checks, so we can go ahead and descend via the published segment on the approach. We can go down to 1500 now.
Autopilot disconnected.
What's the mist?
Number 55 Bravo 0, Miami Center, climbing tip level
2000s.
430.
Alright, here we go.
Number 55 Bravo 0, Miami Center, climbing tip level 430.
Miami Center, good evening, American 2, correction 1624, climbing 12.7 for 16,000 via the tail at spot issue.
American 1524, Miami Center, climbing tip level 210, past 16,000, clear direct ranging.
Select gear down.
Alright, passing 16,000, we'll clear direct to Ray J, and we'll climb to flight level 210, American 1624.
Piedmont 5514, the wind 05011, gust 21, runway 9 foot of length.
Little end, runway 9, Piedmont 5514. Alright, one more notch of flaps to go. Continuous ignition. EMS off. A little bit right of center line. We'll get that corrected. You guys can keep those predictions coming in as far as the vertical descent rate at the moment the wheels touch runway surface.
Number 74 Tango Delta cross boost L at and maintain 10,000, the Key West altimeter 2999er.
Boost L at and maintain 10,000. Ship.
One. Going to keep about 150 here.
Speed checked below 170. Select flaps 30.
Alright. We can go to landing flaps. I'm not going to yet. Busby at or about 1500, and we are right on it, so looking good. Final approach fix, we're going to go laps 30. Speed's coming down nicely. Alright friends, last call for the prediction. We're just getting by the 1,000 call. We'll hear the cabin crew alerted in just a moment.
1,000.
Let's get final entries in for the descent rate prediction, guys. And a little gusty.
Plus 100. Minimums.
We are landing.
Tampa 4018, contact Miami approach 120.5.
Total approach around 22.5 for Tampa 4018 Navy 2.
Verify 20.5, 120.5.
Affirm, it's going to be 120.5 for Tampa 4018 Navy.
Yeah! Oh, man. Why is the sim so jumpy?
Brake pressure seen.
That's horrendous.
80 knots. $60 knots.
Yeah, you guys saw how jumpy that sim was on short final. I'm going to need to do some... we just upgraded from...
Welcome to Key West, ramp via Alpha, good day.
Ramp via Alpha, Piedmont 5514, thanks. I just upgraded from Windows 10 to Windows 11.
American 1624 cross rage at maintain 13,000, NASA altimeter 3001.
And I don't know if that means I've got to go through now and do some performance tweaking or what, but that sim was extremely jumpy on short final, and I'm really annoyed by it. That's an unusual parking spot. Yeah, I mean, that wasn't that wasn't all the sim's fault. It was gusty winds too. I mean, you know, there's a lot of factors there, but that really jumpy performance of the sim really kind of leaves me disappointed here. Alright, let's get cleaned up. We can get flight directors off, weather radar off, continuous ignition off. Is it going to let me just pull through this thing, or am I going to hit it? I guess it let me pull through it. Oh, no, I hit it. Alright, parking brake is on. Strobe, landing, turn-offs. What else, guys? Transponder. Alright, so flaps and speed brakes were stowed. Landing lights, taxi lights, strobe lights, exit lights. Continuous ignition, weather, and transponder. Parking brakes engaged. Master warning knobs can come out. Oxygen system. I'm just disappointed because it makes it look like I don't know what I'm doing, but 1, engine gens, act number 2, cutoffs. Okay, let's watch for 4 reds. We got them. Fasten seatbelt signs can come off. Fuel pumps 1, 3, and 4. Green and probe heats. Nice detection. Beacon light. Go over here and get our truck set. Passenger and cargo doors. Pumps are off. Hydraulic crossfeed's off. Transponder, everything we did. And then let's check on our fuel and ETA. So we got out about 15 minutes early.
4 Tango Delta flight present heading. Expect the visual approach for runway 9er.
Flight present heading and expect the for runway 9er. Starship 7 4 Tango Delta.
So let's take a peek here. So we had said 11:13 was going to be our final, but we got off about 15 minutes early, so we were going to anticipate being here just before 11. But man, we're another 15 minutes before that even. So for running ahead of schedule all night, that was really nice. And then should be ending with about 7,800 pounds of fuel. So let's see how we did in comparison to that. We were really close. Total fuel weight 92. Whoa, good gracious. Yeah, we must have had a really nice tailwind. Well, we thought we did. We mentioned that earlier, didn't we? How the ground speed was 450 some odd, which is, you know, like a 70 knot tailwind. So I guess that saved us in a ton of time and a ton of fuel. All right, let's break the bad news. Who guessed highest? I mean, that was just at that moment. It was blowing around quite a bit, right? Ugh, God, don't even look at that. 355 is what registered. So who guessed highest? So we got 188, 200, 118, 250, 138, 220, 94, and 300. Wallop says, missed a 0. Now, did you get that in before I touched down? I would guess that you did.
Number 7 4 Tango Delta, that's going to maintain 6,000.
Going to maintain 6,000. Starship 7 4 Tango.
Before minimum's okay. I thought it was. On 1024. All right, friends. Well, disappointing. I mean, I know, right? I know that in this plane I have tended to flare it too aggressively and then let it drop onto the runway. And I know that our first leg, that happened. This leg, though, I really felt like the approach was going well. It was going to work out a lot better. And the sim just got really, really jittery. And I'm really annoyed. And I do think that I need to go through Windows 11 and really do some performance tweaking. So that'll be my project before we stream for you again on Tuesday. All right, so we'll work on that. That'll be my weekend, getting that taken care of for you. But I do appreciate all of you who rode along, and a couple of you flew along even. So thank you very kindly for that, and always good to have your company on these trips, and always good to have you all on the stream chat hanging out with us as well. And if you were new to the stream chat, and if I didn't say hi, or if you happen to catch me during a busy moment, then please don't take that personally. You can always check in on our Discord. So the server link's in the lower right-hand side of your screen. If you had any questions about anything that you heard or saw tonight, don't hesitate to ask. All right. A couple of housekeeping notes for those of you new to the stream or even not new to the stream. We are going to be doing our final Alphabets points raffle on November the 28th. So between now and just over a month from now, you've got one final chance to cash in those Twitch channel points, aka those Alphabets points. 2,000 at a time for one entry. 10,000 at a time will get you 6 for the price of 5. And our final Alphabets drawing will be on November the 28th, as we said. That's how you get the entry into that. Of course, you saw how we can do the landing rate raffle. And by the way, if you are new to the stream and you aren't sure what the prizes are, November 7th is going to be our next landing rate raffle drawing. November 28th, again, our final Alphabets Points raffle drawing. Starting in December, we're going to have a brand new activity to go along with those Twitch channel points, which we'll talk about after that final drawing. But when we do those drawings, whoever's name comes out of that fishbowl gets their choice of our Slant Alpha merch items, including our t-shirt, ball cap, mouse pad, coffee mug, or tote bag, which I will ship to you at my own expense. If you don't want any of that garbage, you can choose an electronic gift card either to Amazon or xplane.org store or Sim Market instead. So should be something there for everybody. And then after each drawing, we reset the entries and start collecting anew for the following one. So we are going to go back to, well, first of all, we're going to go back to 3 streams a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, starting in November. So we got our stream on Tuesday will be our final one for the month of October. I've got some travel plans this coming next weekend. But then on Monday, November 3rd, we switch back to that Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Monday, November 3rd, we're actually going to be doing a special. We're going to be doing an all-day tag-along with World Flight. World Flight's a week-long charity event participated in by 12 to 15 official teams that do about a 45 to 50 leg trip around the entire world continuously in 45 to 50 successive legs. Each of the official teams has a full-scale airliner cockpit replica that they fly for a week straight on VATSIM, and they've got multiple crews rotating in and out in order to achieve that for an entire week straight. A bunch of folks do tag along, and I will tag along just for the legs 11, 12, 13, and 14, which will take us up through North America. We're starting in Cancun, Mexico, come up through the U.S., and then end up in Halifax, Nova Scotia. For those 4 legs, we're going to have a giveaway for each of the 4 legs, and then we're going to have a big giveaway for the entire day. For anybody who donates at least $20 or more, will get entered into a drawing for a grand prize at the end of the day. All of those donations, by the way, are going to be forwarded to the Animal Allies Rescue Foundation of Baltimore, Maryland. So there's a nice charity. They're a pet rescue. They do fantastic work in Baltimore. 2 of our own furry co-pilots came from there. We love them very much. They are fantastic people. They deserve all of your support, and so hopefully on Monday, November the 3rd, you will be able to provide it. Anybody who donates 20 or more, and a donation is 1 entry, okay? So if there's no benefit to splitting up into smaller ones or whatever. Each person who donates 20 or more is entered into the grand prize, and so that way, we're not giving favoritism to the people who can buy they'll buy the drawing or whatever. Anybody who donates $20 or more is entered into our grand prize drawing that will draw toward the end of the 4th leg. And all of the money donated, penny for penny. I'm not taking the prize money out of the donations or anything like that. Penny for penny, the money that's donated to us will get forwarded to the Animal Allies Rescue Foundation. I am then supplying any of the transaction costs or administrative costs to make sure that your donations are going 100% in. I will chip in a little on top of what we collect as well. And then I will, of course, be furnishing all of the prizes to be given away, 5 of them, 1 for each leg, and then a 5th prize is a grand prize drawing at the very end. So, fantastic stream for you to participate in. That's going to be a week from Monday. It's going to be Monday, November 3rd, but that's going to launch us back into our Monday, Wednesday, Friday live stream rotation. The full schedule is down underneath the About tab, or it's also over on our Discord server. We got the YouTube channel link on the lower left-hand side of your screen, and that's where you can find some tutorials. So those of you who might be new to the VATSIM network, you hear all this other traffic, virtual human air traffic controllers and virtual traffic, and you're like, wow, that sounds amazing. It sounds really immersive and realistic, but I'm just so intimidated about how much I need to know in order to get started on VATSIM. Well, we've got some tutorials set up on that YouTube channel, a playlist called VATSIM Tutorials, appropriately enough. So go check out that channel and that playlist called VATSIM Tutorials. You got some good information to get you started on how to choose a call sign or put a route together, what to say to controllers. And of course, then you can ask any questions you have about that stuff right there in the comments on those, or find us over on our Discord server. The Discord server or the Slant Alpha channel, take pride in it. It's very, very VATSIM newbie friendly. So come ask questions about getting started on the network. We got the late follow there from Dave W63. Dave, thanks for the follow. Hope that you'll stop back and see us. Again, shifting, we're on Tuesday at 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, 2300 Zulu time, and then thereafter shifting to a Monday, Wednesday, Friday alignment, 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, which would be midnight Zulu once we get out of daylight time. So midnight Zulu on the day ahead, starting next week, starting in November. All right, that full show schedule under the About Time kind of spells it all out for you, so do check that out. Thanks again for that follow there, and hope that we'll see you back here. All right, let's do a couple of things to close up the aircraft, and probably needs a gear inspection too. Just so disappointed. So I think that the upgrade from Windows 10 to Windows 11 has cost us some performance in the sim. It's made it a lot more jittery. Otherwise, the upgrade went smoothly, I must say. But we'll have to go through and do some performance tweaking to conserve resources and make sure the sim is running as buttery smooth as possible, so we don't keep having that as an excuse. I can go back to blaming myself for my crappy land. If that's ultimately what we want. Let's get nav radios off. Let's get the DME radio off. Let's jump down here. We can shut off COM 1, COM 2, ADF1, ADF2. We can power that off. We can power that off. We are, just as a glitch, we are still going to hear the radios, by the way. So it's just shutting that off, shutting that power off doesn't kill power to the radio in terms of the pilot and sim connect. So if you still hear radio chatter going on, know that we should, but we will. Let's jump down to the bottom. We can shut the yaw damper off. Okay, brake temps are now reading ambient temp. I yammered on long enough, so brake temps are now reading ambient. Transponder's already in standby. So we're good there. Yaw dampers were shut off. We can jump back up top. We can shut the brake fans off. Yaw damper. Okay, all the avionics masters can be shut off. Lift spoiler systems can be shut off. Anti-skid can be shut off. Cabin emergency lights and the smoking lights. We'll jump down to the bottom half here. A galley switch can be shed. Get the remaining pack off. APU air and APU off. That final fuel pump can come off. Center tech transfer can go to shut. APU gen switch can come off. Light deck emergency lights can come off. And my inverter and gen can come off. AC and DC bus ties can come off.
Alpha. Thank you very much.
And then the logo lights, nav lights come off, and then the battery switches. All right. Well, of course that just leaves closing up. Obviously, we would leave the aircraft and then close up the front door, and of course, we would leave the wheel chocks where they are. Nice little near sunset arrival into Key West. Fun flight in a great little four-engine airliner, says J.G. Mathis. Yes, indeed, and I'm glad that you can join us, even though we slammed the landings down in both cases a little bit more. But like I said, I'll see if I can smooth out the performance of both the sim and the sim pilot. Right. All right, well, we talked about our next stream being Tuesday, and that's going to be a general aviation invasion of the Flight of the Living Dead. They're going to, it's Cleveland Air TCC is going to host an event on Tuesday night featuring Pittsburgh. We're going to do a VFR flight along with the Virtual USA Flying Club coming in from University Park, State College, PA, where the Penn State University is. We're going to fly from there down to the west into Pittsburgh. We're going to land at Allegheny County Airport. And then destination number 2, who knows, wherever we decide to go from there, and probably all scatter in every different direction. But that'll be our flight on Tuesday. We will be in the Piper Comanche, the PA-24, the A2A Simulations Piper Comanche on Tuesday for that. So we'll see you at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 2300 Zulu Time for that. In the meantime, who we're going to send the raid over to is Moose. Yeah, Moose is down. He's done for the day. Who's still up and running? Let's see. Looks like Stu222 is he might be on final. So I'm going to go ahead and shoot you over to Stu222. Tell him that Slant Alpha sends his love. Guys, we'll see you Tuesday from Penn State University and the Piper Comanche from A2A Simulations. Between now and then, guys, have a great start to your weekend. Have a great weekend. Have a fantastic start to your week. We will see you Tuesday. And between now and then, be happy, healthy, and safe in all of your travels and adventures. Take care, friends. Good night.